Do it, Maresca. Start KDH at right wing. Do it. Do it. Start Badiashile. Bring on the Monaco twins. Do it. Do it. Bottle it. Bottle it. All right, I'm done. All right, well, I'm back, ladies and gents. Welcome back, Casually FC. Welcome back to the long-awaited Casually Chelsea show match review reaction live. I haven't done this intro in 2 weeks, so I don't know how to do it anymore. My headset is broken again because Chelsea broke me. Very much like it broke my headset. So we're back. Big up to the Bridge Nation. Big up to RSM. Big up to Real Chris and myself, Casually FC. Marshall DBDX, as you guys know it. We're here to review and react to Newcastle 2, Chelsea 0. And with that being said as well, Chelsea out of the Carabao Cup. Hate to say it, hate to see it. And I think today it's safe to say that we're going to have a lot of criticism for the manager as well as the team, because this was probably the worst match I've seen Chelsea play this season. And yeah, I don't think it's an exaggeration to say that. I think most of us might agree with it. But yeah, very disappointed with what I saw today. Very disappointed with the match. We'll go over every little detail. But before we go ahead and start, you guys already know what to do. Be sure to smash up the like button if you haven't done so already. Be sure to also subscribe to the channel if you are new here. Also, check out the other channels that we have down below. We have RSM. We have the Bridge Nation. Chris doesn't have a channel yet, but if he did, it'd probably be phenomenal.
Cheap Chinese FC.
Okay, you took it there. So
I'll
let's go. We don't need to. We don't need to. Marshall, it's not even been 5 minutes of the stream yet.
I just want to say this, Marshall, today. You know, I want to talk about the certain players that you like that we need to talk about today. That real conversations are gonna have to be had, Marshall.
I'm curious, but my curiosity does not need to be answered until we get to that point. Good. So, yeah, ladies and gents, very disappointing match. But yeah, do all that. Subscribe, like the video, share it if you would like to as well. It does help out the channel. Show it to a friend of yours you think might like the content. Also, leave a comment down below if you're watching this in the future. Be sure to check out the memberships as well, as they do help, and links in the description as well. So that being said, let's get into the quick summary of the match, as we always do as per tradition here in Casually FC. So pretty much all damage was done within the first 30 minutes of the game. Chelsea came out with an interesting lineup, a very questionable positioning for some players as well. So it was interesting to see what Maresca, as the review comes out, obviously the tweets are going to come out with Maresca's comments. I'm sure he's going to be asked why he played certain players. Marshall. But yeah, we'll get to there. Real quick, I was
actually because I wanted to actually just to stop you there. What did you think about the lineup when it came out? Because I know we want to talk about the game, but I just want to actually say, because I want to hear your opinion on that, because like I see a lot of people have different opinions before the game even started, just in regards to the lineup itself.
Okay, so let me. I'll talk about what I thought about the lineup, and then let me go into the summary real quick, and then
exactly that's what I was going to say.
Reaction. Yeah. So lineup pretty. Listen, I thought going into this, because of the importance of the game, because of the fact that, like, and I hate when Chelsea fans say this to me, because it just goes to show how much the standard has dropped. To me, every competition is important. And to me, especially when we have this bloated of a squad, we should be able to handle and compete and win every single trophy in front of us. Like, it needs to be the standard that we need to compete for these tournaments. So when you hear Chelsea fans say, it's just the Carabao Cup. No, it's the Carabao Cup. It's a trophy at the end of the day.
I'm pissed.
And exactly. There's a lot of fans out there saying it's just the Carabao Cup. No, fuck you. It's a trophy. We need to win trophies. This team needs to be in competitions. We need to be playing these players. The less competition, we're going to have more players sitting on the bench, not playing. That's the problem with having the big squad. So that's one thing. When it comes to the lineup, I was really kind of disappointed to see that Badiashile was actually still in the lineup, that we're playing Disasi at right back again. I mean, I wouldn't have minded seeing Tosin, but maybe with a Colwell instead. Maybe trust Cucurella and Gusto to play a game, because this is Newcastle. It is going to be a tough opposition.
Oh, yes. Like, why Veiga, why not Gusto?
Veiga, I don't mind that Veiga played, but then why try to shoehorn KDH at right wing? Just play Nani or play Neto and put Jadon Sancho. Apparently Jadon was ill, so maybe that's why.
Yeah, no, he was ill. But this is the thing. I would also become physically ill if I had to see in training that my backline was going to be Badiashile and Disasi. I would also become.
And Enzo was going to be the CDM of the game.
Bro, I would also be. Also, by the way, I just have to aggress. 300, you're saying is just a Carabao Cup, but this is what we're talking about where we disagree, and this is where I criticize Arsenal all the time, because Arsenal were just like, oh, it's just a Carabao, we have bigger fish to fry, etc. They never got into a winning attitude. Their team never learned what it meant to win, and this is where they're at right now.
We are Chelsea. Chelsea win every single trophy out there. Every trophy is just another one in our little cabinet of trophies, like our trophy case. Like that's the one thing that us Chelsea fans can brag about, is that we have a bigger trophy case than most other fucking UK teams, other than United, other than maybe Man City at this point. Like that's the one bragging right we have as Chelsea fans. So for me, this is an important tournament, just like the FA Cup is going to be important, because at the end of the day, like if we come out of this with just a Conference League, then you Chelsea fans are going to be pissed.
Yes.
That's just what I'm saying. So if it's a Conference League and a Carabao Cup, then we're having a different conversation. But that, lo and behold, like we'll get to that discussion obviously right after this. But yeah, like Joao Felix, fine. I would have been okay with him playing. Nkunku, Mudryk, I'm okay with him playing. He actually had the best performance of everyone, in my opinion. But going into Mudryk, going into the summary of the match, it was pretty much decided in the first 30 minutes, ladies and gents. Yes. And it sucks to say it, but it came from such stupid moments from our defense. In the 23rd minute, you had Alexander Isak getting a goal, but he got a goal because, and this is the one flaw, or one of the flaws to Enzo Maresca's Chelsea, is when we're pressed and we're a possession-based team, we fall under pressure. We saw it happen in preseason. We saw it happen a little earlier in the season as well. With Bournemouth is like the best example of how they pressed us hard and we conceded so many chances, but we were lucky in the day not to concede any and score one goal with Nkunku coming in and saving us. So that didn't happen this time. This time we got pressed. Badiashile with a absolute horrendous pass to Renato Veiga that I don't really blame Renato Veiga too much on. And we concede the first goal. Alexander Isak gets a clean opportunity to score from that horrible pass to Renato Veiga. Badiashile just off the game, off the ball the whole time today. There's no confidence at home. Almost conceded a second goal towards the end of the first half from the horrible touch he had. He was very, very lucky that it went wide. I think it was Willock. Yeah, Willock didn't shoot it at the post. He shot it straight out. Disasi couldn't catch up to him. And then obviously bringing up Disasi, who played at right back. I don't like seeing Disasi play at right back. He can do a job, but only to a certain extent. Again, being responsible to take that position against a Newcastle team that obviously aren't happy with their loss in the Premier League, come here for revenge, put out a strong lineup with a Gordon of all players as well, who is their best player. And a cross comes in, deflects off of Nkunku, very unfortunate, and lands in a really weird position for Disasi, and it counts as the Disasi own goal. So that's the game, pretty much.
It didn't even land in an awkward position. Like Disasi low-key kicked it in, bro. Like he was trying to kick the ball. You look at the replay. Like,
Disasi's been watching too many Jackson goals, man. You know what I mean? He sort of tapping yesterday by Jackson.
Not even Jackson. It's like, and this is what I mean by the quality, bro. Like, yeah, we have a B team, but bro, the quality isn't there in all places. And this is the thing. Like, you look at like Reece James, for example, against Newcastle. Some of the saves that he was making easily could have been own goals, especially that diving header, bro. Like anybody of lesser quality, that's an insane own goal that they're scoring. But he backs us to do that. And even in other opportunities, he was on the line because he knew and he was able to kick it out. Disasi was there. He tried to like flick his leg up to like get it up and over the bar, but he's not him, bro. He's not a good defender.
Yeah. He I mean, I'm not gonna say he's not a good. Okay. He's mid.
Stop.
He's mid.
No.
He's actually like I don't know.
He's not bad. He's not bad. Badiashile's bad.
At best he's mid. No, bro. I think
you know what? I'm gonna let Marshall finish his summary. Finish your story, Marshall.
No. That's pretty much it, because the rest of the summary is just me criticizing players that we're gonna criticize throughout this whole entire video. So I mean, go ahead, Chris, and then I do want to hear what Ahmed has to say to me.
Like, we didn't even mention Jurgensen as well. I thought he's like. in that that's
Bro,
first half especially.
we can start with the goalkeeper.
because
like-
yeah, you can go from top like bottom to top.
We
Because,
can go
like,
from bottom to top. Yeah, for
because
sure. Let's do it that way.
let's be real. We can like criticize from goalkeeper to midfield to defense and attack because the reason why we didn't win today as well is because of attack, and the reason we didn't win today as well because our defense had a disaster the first 30 minutes or so. Because Badiashile, I don't know why he passed it to Veiga. You can clearly see a player. I don't know who intercepted Veiga. Veiga made that clumsy pass, but like but yeah, that is fully on Badiashile. But yeah, Jurgensen. This is why I think maybe he doesn't start over Sanchez because even on the ball, he looked a bit more shaky. And Sanchez, not Sanchez. Yeah, Sanchez. I don't know why I was thinking Sancho in my head. I don't know why, but yeah, I thought today was obviously defensively, like you said, massively the reason why we didn't win today. I don't know who. Wait, who is that?
No.
Oh, the Leon keeper.
Listen,
But,
I'm
but
not.
the only one really going forward in our lineup today who can put their head up high is probably Mudryk as well. Like Mudryk's the only.
That's really about
I
it.
mean,
and that's
I
saying
will say with
something.
Mudryk, he's performing every game so far. I've been seeing him play right now. Like
I
every
don't know
game.
about so far. Every game.
I don't think he had
Okay,
it.
so
I'll be
it's
honest.
He's been
my bad.
improving
He had
since the
the-
first
he
game.
The
had in my
last
honest
3-4
opinion-
games. Sorry.
In my honest opinion,
I thought you were playing
below
Chelsea, man.
average. Below average.
No, the last three
Below
games
average
though, I
form.
think it's been really good.
No, yeah, we can talk about last 3 games, but I'll talk about today.
I
Today
meant
was
yeah,
below
sorry, I
average.
meant the last few games like that. Like he's been really impressing me. But
Listen, man, let's stop dilly-dallying, please. Let's stop dilly-dallying around the bush.
Yeah.
Let's talk about, the real topic that needs to be spoken about here, yeah?
Which
And
is
that is that
Yeah,
Tweedledee and Tweedledum. You know what I mean, yeah? And we know
Mm-hmm.
who they are. You know what I mean? I feel like those two people in particular, I feel like they just want to go back to Monaco because,
Yeah.
it's tax-free. You know what I mean? It's tax-free. They want to get
Is
tax-free
it actually?
money. Yeah, it's tax-free. Monaco's tax-free,
I
yeah.
didn't know
So listen, I get it. But, like, let's be realistic, boys, yeah? Disasi, it's interesting that Disasi lost weight. You know what I mean? You can clearly see it. He hasn't got as much muscle on him as he had previously. And you can clearly see, bro, the way this guy, excuse my French here, gets bitched around by
He does.
different players every single time you might as well just call him Axel, you know what I mean, Ruben Loftus Disasi. You might as well call him that because that's the way he moves, you know what I mean. Same guy who has a big frame, and then gets cooked, you know what I mean. So I just think for me Disasi is not good enough. Badiashile, he's not good enough. He's not
Not at
good
all.
enough. He's not competent enough to be a backup for us. It's simple as that. And that's just those two. Philip Jorgensen, another one that I speak about a lot. And I told people beforehand that I do not believe he's good enough. He's not of the level. As simple as that. And again, it's the issue for me is you spent 25 British fucking pounds on him, and you could have spent 25 British fucking pounds on this another guy that's not getting noticed around the fucking world. Like I get that, and like just he himself at times was making himself look a little bit shaky, in my personal opinion, in regards to Jorgensen. And then there's obviously the guy that Lavia took his chain from. Lavia took this guy's chain, and
He did.
yeah, and like for me,
No, hold up, Ahmed. Let's work our way from the defense midfield. We'll get
Okay,
on the midfield.
can I speak on the defense then?
I need there's a lot we got to talk about on just the
one more
defense.
person I
alone.
want to talk about. One more person I'm going to talk about is Kukurea. It's interesting that now he's a B team member. You know what I mean? That's all I have to say. He's clearly a B team player, right? Because listen,
Stop, bro. Stop, bro.
consistently
Stop.
against, no, listen, I think it's a bad point to make. Why are you cooking me? He's only started in the last 3 games. The last 3 games he started, 2 of them have been for the B team, and he's come off the bench against Newcastle. He clearly is not a starter. Maresca does not see him as a starter anymore.
Wasn't he suspended though, like or injured or something?
No. He was suspended for one of them, but the next
okay.
game he hasn't started either. He hasn't started for Newcastle.
I don't think that's because of due performance. Because before that, he's playing pretty well.
Well, mate, listen. I don't know what's going on, but the reality situation is, bro.
You just said it. Okay,
he-
well, you summoned him, so here you go.
Who's this?
Who's this?
I don't
Arteta,
know.
obviously.
What?
Who?
That's a
Curry
crazy.
No,
Pirate.
but like the point.
Curry
No,
Pirate.
no,
I know
I
you
mean,
came. I know you came to bring.
No, but like the moment, but like,
bring
yeah,
balance
but
to the
like,
force.
but like, let me finish off
Just
the point. The point I'm making is that, like, I didn't actually even understand his positioning in the game. That's the thing that confused me. more than anything we career. I don't know about you guys. Like there was times I was seeing him in field. Like I think he was inverting. Then there was times where it was literally just him defending. Like I don't know what was going on.
I mean, him and Burn.
Marshall, let me talk. Marshall, let me talk. Let me talk on this waffler again. Let me talk,
Listen,
please.
why? Why not? Why not?
No, Marshall, let me talk about this guy. Can I talk to this like?
Yeah, cook the fraud.
Okay, first of all, I was agreeing with him with regards to the center back. I'm not. This guy was raging about Jorgensen. I'm sorry, Jorgensen wasn't that bad as you're making it out to be, because he was not at fault for any. No, come on, he was not. Excuse me. It wasn't his fault for both the goals he conceded. It was not his fault.
No, of course not. No.
It was not his fault for those goals he
But
conceded.
you guys rag on Sanchez for having games where it's not his fault and he looks shaky. So keep the energy consistent.
No, hold up.
You know, CP, CP, I'm gonna look at you, but like, for example, you know the first thing that happened, like in the game, where he had his first cross, and then he literally almost carries it into the opposition to score.
Yeah, like during Newcastle,
That was
I
a
heard
good
people
point.
criticizing Sanchez, but he wasn't necessarily at fault for any of the goals. So, like,
He's
again,
playing
like, keep the
Pokemon, by
energy
the way.
consistent.
Okay,
Alright,
so
Sam.
no,
What are you talking about?
Marshall, you want me to keep the energy consistent? We were blaming him not for his saves. We were blaming him for his ball playing ability, with 4 fucking 6 successive balls launched out of 20. We weren't blaming him for his
Yeah, I
balls.
know. It was horrible.
So, yes, so not for his saving.
But even
Okay,
he's
I
that's
think we
what
got to
Jorgensen
keep the
did.
same energy for him as well.
But then keep the same energy when he isn't the reason we concede a goal.
But this is okay.
Sanchez
Hold up.
actually not caused any like goals. From
Yes, he hasn't.
No, he hasn't. Wait,
hasn't
well, to be fair, he hasn't caused it through the grace of God. Like,
yeah.
No,
there
I
are
don't
certain
like
times
that
that
either,
it
but-
should have been a goal, bro.
Just like Jorgensen did. Like, listen, I'm not trying to defend Sanchez. I'm saying Sanchez is shit. And after this game, 100%, either listen, this is how bad it is, right? And CP, I'll let you
What is he
continue.
about to say? What are you about to say? Stop.
Listen,
You gave a
bro,
smile.
next season, just start Penders. Just start Penders or bring me back Petrovic. Start Penders or bring me back Petrovic
hold
because
up.
we need somebody.
No, I'm with that.
Sorry.
Hashtag bring back Petrovic, bro.
Yeah.
I'm
Either
so-
bring
I'm
back
so serious.
Petrovic
Bring back
or
Petrovic,
just start
bro. We need to
Penders.
start it.
If
We need to
Penders
start
is the
it.
guy because
My
your
view-
scouting team is good, if Penders is the guy, then let's see it.
My views and Petrovic are still mixed. I'll be honest.
Okay,
After some
anyways.
little matches.
Right.
So after
And
some
then-
little
Continue,
matches.
CP. Continue,
Sorry,
CP.
B.
Stop the Cucurella the hate,
Sorry,
please.
just like
Yeah,
Kwame
stop the coup, bro.
Cucurella,
Like that's.
when him and Mudryk were our 2 best players on the field.
Exactly.
What is he on about?
Well, okay, I don't know about that.
Yeah,
At least CP agrees with me. Like,
I would argue.
This is why I
I
say
would-
bring the balance because it was too good
yeah.
and it's too negative. So bring the balance.
I would say probably in my personal
Felt
opinion,
like he
the
did a lot
best
more.
player in the team, and I would argue was actually Joao Felix. I think in terms of chance creation, the stuff that he was doing. I think the issue obviously with him was that he didn't finish his dinner.
The slow close of the eyes.
he was
is
killing us.
crazy.
He was killing us that game.
Yeah, he killed us in the environment. But like, I'll be honest, in terms of the guy that
Oh,
did
he
the
was
most
trying. You're
stuff,
saying he's trying.
bro, compared to what the other guy gave me, at least he was trying to do something.
Man really
hold
just
up.
said Joao Felix.
No, hold up. Hold up. I need to check the stats. Hold up. No. I want to check the
Yeah,
stats.
1 second. So can I talk? I was talking about Cucurella. Cucurella and Mudryk were our 2 best players. What is he waffling
Yes,
about?
they were. They
Cucurella
were.
helped us
Yes,
so
they
much
were.
defensively,
outnumbered.
build up play in the midfield and attacking options, because you know why? He had to do almost every position. You know why?
The left hand-
Because
the left hand
everyone
side.
was dog shit from the midfield, defense and attack. That's why.
I
That's
thought
why
that
he had
too
to
as
do
well,
everything.
Kofi,
Because
he was everywhere.
Enzo Fernandez was shit. All the center backs were shit,
Thank you.
including
There you go.
Disasi were shit. The
Felix-
midfield was shit in terms of progressing the ball and passing the ball through, and the attackers were shit in Joao Felix, Dewsbury-Hall, and Nkunku. That's why he had to fucking do everything.
Joao Felix and Nkunku each had 1 big chance miss, just so you know.
No. Nkunku had like 5. He had to have had 5, bro.
No, there was-
No.
He
Nkunku didn't have
wait,
5
that
big
game-
chances. He missed.
Big
No,
chance.
wait,
Joao Felix had the biggest chance of the game. He missed a one-on-one.
I'm
when
not
he was
talking about the
he was
biggest chance of the
spamming
game,
the ball
Mr.
at every freaking ball time he had the ball from 30 yards onwards. He was spamming the ball at the goal, and he got blocked every time. And then he misses the one-on-one he had. What an
I'm
absolute
talking about.
idiot!
I'm talking about you know when Nkunku would get the ball like and he just only has to be or she and then he started to go like
No, I get that. Yes, that's controlling the ball in the box. But you know what? Felix had a direct one-on-one in the box, and he freaking misses it. And every time he has the ball, you know what he doesn't do? Because he's the 10, pass it to other players as a 10.
The hero
As
ball
a
is
10.
insane.
He's the
I
mad
feel
hero
like-
ball. You know from when? Not from minute 90.
Okay.
From freaking minute 1, he was
I
doing
get
hero
that.
ball when we didn't
But
even concede with Joao Felix.
Let's try to backtrack. I don't want to jump the gun on this because there's so much to criticize, and I want to try to keep it somewhat organized and
what's it on
concise.
Sports and Toast
Like-
actually?
Like,
'Cause, like, we might as
okay.
well talk about the
Let me start just to bring back the organization.
I didn't
right?
give my thoughts on Badiashile and Disasi. That's crazy.
We'll get to them because I didn't even give my thoughts on them. Yeah, and I'm the fucking host.
I thought we were gonna move on. To them.
Yeah, no, we're not moving now. We're not
about
moving now.
Marshall,
Okay,
We're not
we don't
moving
care
now.
about Marshall. We don't care
But
about
like,
Marshall.
listen, out of our whole defense, I have to say that Tosin was the best player today, and Tosin was the one that gave Joao Felix that through ball that he missed wide. So it's again, like, for me, I would have been okay with Tosin starting today with Levi Colwell, because since this is a round of 16, it's going to be an important match. It's going to be a tough opposition, like, to a certain extent. And you know what? I'll just save this towards the end of the review when we talk about Maresca. But like, I thought Tosin was solid. Badiashile, for me, in January, I'm already at the point where I want him gone. I want him gone. This guy's mentality is not there. And I think that's his biggest problem. Like, right now, we have the structure. Right now, we have players around him. I think he just can't recover. Mentally, he just can't recover. And I know Ahmed can vouch for the fact that the French league is one of the leagues that defensively you have to be defensively sound. You can get, it's a really good defensive league. And this guy's just, I know he's good defensively, but he's just not been there. Mentality-wise, he's not there. I don't get on the Disasi too much because he's not necessarily playing in his best position at all. He's not playing at center back. He's playing at right back. But I'm not saying he's the guy. I'm not saying he's the guy. I'm not saying he's better than Wesley Fofana. I'm not saying he's better than Colwell. I'm not saying he's starting potential. But I know he's better than what we're seeing. He's not this bad. So for me, like, once I see him play center back and we see this consistently, then
can I just say one thing about Disasi? Because I want RSM to go after this.
Yeah, go after.
I'm not blaming him for him playing right back. I'm blaming him for his stupid clearance, like a dumb shit. That's what I'm blaming him for, like a fucking clown with his left foot on the line. That's what I'm blaming.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, you're expecting, like, okay.
A person to be competent and kick the ball out as a professional football player? Yes, I am.
What you're okay? This is the comparison. You're asking a clown to cook you a $500 steak.
I'm asking him to
like
walk.
He's just not that player, and you said it. You said it, RSM. He's not that player. But it's not that simple. Like what he had to do defensively in that position, a player like Reece James can do, because Reece James is that guy. Levi Colwell can do, because Levi Colwell is that guy. He's better than Disasi. Disasi's mid.
He was on the line and he miskicked the ball. Let's not make kicking a ball out.
Okay, let's
make it sound harder than it is as a football player. It's not like he can make an amazing walk. I am
going to share my screen, and we're going to look at the play.
That's the last thing I want to say. Arsenal, you go ahead and I was so pissed with this option. My bad.
I trust me, I'm right there with you.
So that's the second goal, right? Not the first one. Okay, second goal. Let me share the screen, and then we'll look at it real quick, and then we'll get back to Pokemon. So right here, cross comes in, deflected from Nkunku. So already, like, fuck. This is not going in a trajectory I planned it to go. Fine. Let me make something of it.
He made something.
And again, deflected again. So now it's reaction. It's not I can properly position myself to kick this out. He's going off instinct and reaction. And he miskicked it. So it's like, yes, I get it. It's bad. If that was Reece James, I expect it to be cleared. If it's Levi Colwell, I expect it to be clear. Fuck, I'll even say Cucurella. I expect it to be clear. But like, it sucks. It sucks. Disasi should have done better, but he's just not that guy. Like 5 times out of 10, he maybe does it. He's not the most agile guy.
Can I
so I'm not ragging on him too much for that.
So can I go quickly before you go, Chris?
We should have done better defensively, in my opinion, for that. But
the point I'm trying to make in that moment, bro, he actually, like, he doesn't even turn his foot properly there. Like, there's another replay there where it actually shows you.
It's like a close up. Yeah, it's a close up. I know what you're talking about.
He basically does a tap in, bro. He literally taps it in. Like he basically is like he's almost, as he does that. You see that he's moving like a striker in that position, bro.
Oh, yes. You know what? There might be another angle here. No. I thought there would have been another
you don't
angle.
have it.
No.
All right, look at this Marshall
Yeah.
forward, man. Listen, we don't condone gambling here, man. Don't gamble, please.
RSM, you wanted to talk on Badiashile
Yes,
and
okay.
Disasi. Floor is yours on this one.
Yeah. Okay. So my thing is this, like, for me personally, I would agree with you in the sense that, like, yes, I'm not going to slate Disasi for playing out of position. But my problem with Disasi isn't even the fact that he's defending wide areas. That's my issue. It's not the fact that he's defending wide areas. Today in
Yeah, go ahead.
That's no. I want the streets to know. Yeah, I'm not gonna show it. I've got a gun now. You know what I mean?
No,
Officially. I've got-
by the way, I said this. I'm telling you, bro. Hold on, wait. Like right here, listen.
Can you hear
right
that,
here,
boy? Can you hear that?
that's it.
What
Can you hear
the?
that?
Shout out.
Marshall,
Shout out.
No, don't
Marshall,
stop.
Listen. Marshall, listen.
Stop.
Yeah,
Stop.
we
Get the
There
fuck
you go.
out
My
of here,
thing,
bro.
my thing is this, like, shout out 50 Cent. Shout out 50 Cent, bro. Get out, get out the club, bro. Get out the club. Get out the club, bro. That's all I'm gonna get out.
That's
no,
crazy.
Okay, no, it
Are
really
you
is
talking? Are you talking to
everybody's still
Disasi?
in Disasi, bro. Get out the club. That's all I'm saying. That's the name of the song. It's called "Get Out the Club." Look it up. I'm telling you right now,
That's
bro.
crazy.
My
Just
issue
wait
is
until the feds get to you and say,
it's exactly like, bro, the decision making is my issue for Disasi and Badiashile. Like, we can't have two bozos at the back both making bozo decisions. It's just not, it's not workable. You just can't have two bozos at center backs. You're gonna concede way too much. They're both nervous. Disasi is not good with the ball at his feet. Let's be honest. He's a tall lump. That's it. That's all he's there for. But he's not even. And it's like I'm said, you're supposed to be tall and strong, but you're not even strong. You be getting bitched off the ball.
Yeah.
So like,
I
what are we
couldn't
talking
understand
about here?
why Gusto actually didn't play today. He got
See,
subbed off earlier.
And that is my point. Like with Gusto, not only you look at that left hand side was their best and most active side. Why? You had Cucurella, you had Mudryk. That right hand side was dead, bro. We had
Yeah.
KDH
And
and
Disasi.
Disasi, bro. And my issue with so
Disasi.
we'll speak about that later. When we
you
speak
gotta
about
go back.
We'll speak about Maresca, but I'll bring it back. Disasi and Badiashile. My issue with both of them is their decision making. How many times now? Repeated. Now, I agree. Josh Ashipong, sign the contract. Get that contract signed right now. We need you, brother. My point being, Badiashile so often, and the same thing I say with Sanchez, they just love and they can't differentiate. When they see a player with another player right behind them, ready to steal the ball, I'm gonna pass it to them under pressure every time, bro. It's like boom, I have to.
Under pressure.
Like, and it's so insane. Like Badiashile, bro, nobody was running at Badiashile. Nobody told him to make that pass. He passed directly there. And with Disasi during the game, like he's just not, bro. Did you see that one play where Disasi just let the ball go out of play?
Yeah.
Like, this is what I mean. The whole basis of the system is like, okay, we're gonna need ball-playing center backs that can play between the lines, that are technically like Badiashile and Disasi offers the complete opposite of that. They flounder in this system. They are the biggest liability. And I said this before. The reason we lost this game is because of those two. Point blank. Period. That's it.
Yeah.
Maresca
I'll give you that.
tactically, Maresca cannot tell them to not do that. And tactically, the attack had more than enough
Maresca
to
was
actually score
pissed.
2 goals. And he had more than
But-
enough reason to be pissed. But that's all I gotta say on those
just-
on the Bozo brothers.
But just like how people, I didn't want people to conflate us to United last season. I'm doing the same thing with Badiashile and Disasi, because like I get what you're saying, but Badiashile hands down carries most of the weight when it comes to that decision making gene that you're talking about. Like that guy, so many times today, so many times in previous games prior to Liverpool, just indecisive on the ball, nervous, just can't decide who to pass it to, just fucking it up the whole time. Yeah, Disasi has that in him every now and again, but like again, I think with Disasi, the fact that it's just his ability, his physicality, and his ability
Marshall
fails
doesn't
him.
have physicality
He's just
anymore,
not.
though, bro.
He's just not competent enough to play that position.
Marshall
And like,
doesn't have physicality anymore, though, bro. He doesn't have physicality. Like, I don't know if you've seen Disasi like side by side from last season. This guy has definitely lost a lot of muscle mass. Yeah, if you actually look at the way his body looks like now compared to last season,
It
like
doesn't
he
look as
actually looks.
bulky, but
Yeah, exactly. And so for me, for me, you know, it's actually even more of a bigger indictment, because it means you've lost the weight, you've lost the muscle mass, you've made it so a little bit more leaner and able to play this position a bit more and have a little bit of speed and balance and agility, you want to call it. And bro, you look even worse than you were originally. Like
Yeah.
your bigger self was much better. You were bigger when you were fat.
But
Because
again,
the thing is, like, he lost the weight and he's not even faster, bro.
Yes.
Yeah, he still
Like,
he still looks
what's the
like
point?
okay
Yeah.
on the ball.
But that, yeah, I get that. But again,
Trying to
like
get
I
into
don't want.
modeling, right? Trying to get into modeling.
I really, I really don't want to compare him to last season because last season he played center back and he was reliable reliable in the sense of being available, and also he wasn't anywhere near this bad, obviously.
Okay, but again, but then we have to have that conversation. And again, we had that conversation about Chalaba. We had that conversation about everybody. Thiago Silva made his center back partners look kind of decent, and we said that
Yeah,
during
this
the
is
season.
true.
And
This
they
is true.
and that's what I'm saying. Now we have, that's the thing. Like if we had Badiashile making balls of mistakes, but we had a calming presence in Thiago Silva next to him, sure. But we have Disasi, bro, and we have Tosin.
Yeah.
And the thing is, like, Tosin is decent in a squad that's like doing good, but I think it's already shown that when the moment can
He ain't no Thiago Silva.
exactly the occasion can get to him, bro.
Yeah, he ain't no Thiago Silva. So it sucks. Like I think RSM said it. Like this game is single-handedly down to those center backs. Like it was just horrible.
At best, it's a 1-0. But the 2-0 in 3 minutes, like the heads were down. They were completely lost. Everything became flat after that. Super flat.
But can I am gonna come back to Jurgensen though.
Okay.
I think anyone saying at this point that we need to drop Sanchez for Jurgensen, just shut up. Both of them need to go. Or as far as I'm aware, both of them are not good enough for Chelsea. Whether or not they stay, because I know Jurgensen, we just got him, and it's a little unfair for me to say that about Jurgensen, but both of them are a liability. And next season, whether you want to rely on the recruitment and bring on a Penders and maybe he's good enough, we just don't know, or actually get like Petrovic back, or go out and actually get like a somewhat proven goalkeeper, Jurgens is not that guy either. He's not at fault for the goals we conceded, but at the same time, bro, you gave me too many heart attacks today, and it could have been a lot worse. It could have been a lot worse.
That
today.
one play, it was in the second half. Did you see that one play, bro? Where somebody almost got to him and he barely got around, bro. Like I just want to keep.
He passed it to a Newcastle player straight to a Newcastle player at one point too.
Yeah, it was outside the box. Like yeah, I remember. But like I just need a keeper that's not going to get my hurried up. And I've changed my mind, by the way, on what I want to see in the window. Now, for me, the priority is we need to get these dusty center backs out of the club. Get 2 center backs, one starter, 1 backup, and we need a goalkeeper. I don't even care about the striker anymore. Nico Jack is doing enough. Just get.
The problem is, by the way, guys, the issue is, and I'm gonna say this right now to you, is that they probably were trying to do this in the summer to get some of these centre backs out before they can bring in some of these new centre backs that they may have wanted. The problem that you've got right now, boys, is that Badiashile and Disasi are commodities that are going to be extremely hard to move on from. They're extremely hard to move on from, because if we are currently doing the 1 in 1 out policy, then you've got a mission failed. Because you can't. What's it called? Yeah. What's the word I'm looking for? You can't really move on Badiashile. You can't move on Disasi. They don't really have any suitors as of currently that are going to maybe provide the value that maybe you're going to be asking for, right? And so it becomes a question of realistically, what is the point? Like, you can't move them on. Like, how do you solve the situation?
Bro, I'll give this to somebody for free. On God, just as free up the spots in the team.
But you don't have to FFP wise. But I would hurt us FFP wise, right? Because remember, the club kind of did that before already.
How much should we pay for them, bro?
Not that much.
35 million.
I don't think so.
35 million, 40 million. But then remember, when you terminate, you're probably going to terminate.
No, I get what you're saying.
And then it's also the value in the book that's going to be also part of it too.
No, but that's fine, bro. Just sell them at a discount. Just get them out, bro.
I mean, you could sell Badiashile for like 20 million, I think. I think if the club obviously want to, then I think they could for like 20 million. Same Disasi. I think 20, 30 million you could get back, like either Serie A, even La Liga, or obviously the French league as well. What's it called now? Liga Ubits or Liga 1?
I'm loving it. I'm loving it, Lee. I'm loving it, Lee.
I'm loving it. I know you did that on purpose, by the way.
Yeah, I'm loving it. I'm loving it.
I know you what?
I know you did that on purpose, Chris.
It's the McRibley.
McRibley.
RSM, I know you're not talking, bro. I know you're not talking. What's Ecuadorian league called? You know what I mean? Hey, don't get us to get fine.
Bro, okay, but you're acting like you're French, bro. Like, calm down, bro.
Yeah, that's crazy, man.
Although, wait, you're Somali. What's the Somali league called?
It's,
Are we
I think-
scouting the Somali league?
Bro
Okay,
doesn't
okay,
know.
okay.
Bro doesn't know.
No, it's called the Dahab Chill League. Literally, I think it's called the Dahab Chill League, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah.
How about truly?
Alright,
Isn't that a
you know what?
dish?
And you know what? Still
No,
better
Dahab
than
Chill is
the
like
League of
money in
Legends.
like Western Union.
Oh Jesus Christ!
Oh my God! Wait, why
CP.
are we not calling
Sure,
it?
some good players in that league.
Why are we not calling it the put the fries in the bag league? It's so perfect.
Yo,
I honestly
CP,
can't keep track
bring
which sponsor they have
CP,
now.
bring it back to the team. Bring
Yeah,
it back
go
to the
back,
game.
go back.
CP, go
Okay,
ahead.
I was gonna say that. So, with regards to center back, we have one on the way. Like,
Yes,
if you want to back
Anselmino,
up,
in January, you're
Anselmino
right.
as a backup,
Listen,
as a backup.
The
yeah,
thing is,
yeah, as a backup, as a
Now,
backup,
ask you a
yeah,
question, Corey. Do you think he's gonna be more reliable than this? Like,
Yes.
is that not
Yes,
putting too
yes,
much pressure?
yes,
Oh,
I've
is that
seen
putting
him.
too much pressure?
Yes.
I think there's a
No,
yes.
no,
Yes.
because he's gonna be our backup. He's not gonna be our starter, and so that's why he covers our backup. So my key things I'm seeing for the summer, for example, would be goalkeeper,
Mhm.
a right center back,
Okay.
right? Because I think we have Fofana, and you could put Vega as left center back cover. I think personally.
Yeah.
And then anyways, and then it would be for me a left winger that can score. For me personally, because if you want a center mid, I have a center mid 8 right now coming through who's developing like a god in
Yes.
Andre Santos.
Mhm.
I have that in my squad already.
It's
You just don't
spooky
have
for
a goal scorer
goalkeeper
that
next season.
because in my head I think of Madueke as a right winging goal scorer and Neto as a right wing goal provider and Sancho as a left wing goal provider, and we need a goal scorer to balance it just in case. But that's what I would do for me because we got the ref. Like it's just those 3 signings for me,
Mhm.
right?
I
So
think-
for me, so for example, a right center back, Jonathan Tah, if we reach top 4, is running out of contract in 2025, like in the summer. We can get him on free. He's won the Bundesliga against Bayern Munich. He's been undefeated, and they might win it this year. But Leipzig are looking good too. But anyways, he has experience, and he's 26, 27, and he was captain when they won the league. Bremer from Juventus would be another good signing for us. Right, Tapsoba again from Bayern Leverkusen wouldn't cost too much.
Yeah.
Like these are the signings we need. Goalkeeper, I don't pay that attention too much to that. I know Ahmed like Chevalier. I watch him from time to time. He's okay.
What do you
I
think
don't know if
about
he's gonna be good.
Costa? Because apparently we're still like the reports
No,
are we're still
no,
looking
he's
for
not
him.
good. I'm
No.
telling you, he's not
Yeah,
good.
no,
No, bro,
I've been
no, bro,
watching-
no, bro. After that Porto game, I was like, I'm good.
No,
Bro.
Arsene, I've been watching that league since a year ago, since we got Poch, and
Yeah.
we started losing in October. I was hammering.
Yeah.
I was fully hammered. So I was watching Sporting week in, week out. So I was watching Porto a bit too.
Yeah.
He's not good at cross claiming. If you think Sanchez is bad, this man is 6 foot. He's literally Kepa incarnated with claiming
The dinosaur arms.
crosses. Yes, that's the issue with him. I'm telling you, he's literally the same price range as Kepa 2 for his release clause. Do not get him. I'm telling
Kepa
you.
Incarnate is crazy.
I'm not joking.
That's
I'm not joking.
that's rough.
That's the thing.
that's
And he's
rough.
getting overhyped for his ball playing just like how Kepa was back in the day.
But that's why, like, listen, like, obviously we've seen that our recruitment when it comes to talent isn't bad. Like, it's actually pretty decent.
It's questionable with
If-
goalkeeping. That's the only department I question it with.
Yeah.
Right?
I can't really
Yes,
argue that one
right,
really because
right.
like
'Cause every other
Petrovic
position
was good though. Like Petrovic
He's
was
not good
good though.
enough.
I think he's okay.
Jurgensen, I don't know. And Sanchez, was that a recruitment choice or was that a
Because
Brighton? Like, you
every
know,
other position on the field, when I hear a rumor, you know what? I'm like, I'm gonna give them full faith now.
I get
Because
that.
Esteval, Jackson, whoever we choose forward line, midfield wise, because we got Andre Santos coming through, we got Lavia, we got these players. They look good. Not just good, they look amazing. Like Andre Santos, dude. We better integrate this man into the squad next year.
Yeah, I
Only
get that.
20. He's only 20. He could
That is
turn out
really
like
impressive.
Saliba. Because this kid is probably going to win best young player in Liga this year. Like Saliba did.
Mm-hmm.
He broke through and he played in Liga for 2 years.
Yeah, no, I get that. I just we'll see with this Mike Pender's kid. I am patient enough to see how he's going to turn
I'm
out.
Chelsea. I'm getting Alsamino in January. Because we can call him early as January. I would get him. And I would try to offload Badiashile even if it's on load. Or something.
Badiashile is the first one I'm getting off.
I would get him out, even if it's on loan.
pause.
Even if it's on loan.
Mhm.
And I would
Yeah,
start
no.
putting Alsamino in Conference League games.
No,
Like,
I'm
Gone,
100%.
we're
I'm
winning
100% okay
completely
with that.
now.
I'm 100% okay with that. It's just like one thing I wanted to point out that Ahmed said earlier was like I don't want to underestimate what our you know sporting directors can do in terms of sales, because they've been able to sell off players that we didn't think we'd ever see get sold, and for amounts of money that I didn't think was even possible. We had Kai Havertz, Mason Mount. We had obviously, getting Pulisic off the books, Ruben Loftus-Cheek, so on and so forth. Like, there's been players that we've sold off, even to a certain extent. The Lukaku deal, like, so we managed to pull off the Lukaku deal and get a really good price for Lukaku from Napoli of all clubs. But if the hype about Penders is as real as it is, then I am willing to give it a shot to see what happens. And
But
Salmino,
even then, like,
I don't. Yeah,
Goki, he's so young, bro. Like,
I know. But how old was Thibaut Courtois when he came into the team?
yeah, but Thibaut Courtois also came into a more established team than the team that Penders was coming
And
into.
he was killing it at Atletico too. He was.
But let me put things into perspective. This is obviously hopium, right? But like, assuming, because Levi Colwell seems to be our best center back, he actually does look decent. You can argue between Tosin and Wesley Fofana. We know what Wesley Fofana is capable of. We just don't know when we're gonna get that Wesley Fofana, if we are gonna get that Wesley Fofana. But let's assume hopium. If they do get good, right? If they get better,
Yeah.
Isn't that like a decent enough center back pairing that you can trust? Like, okay, Penders, you're gonna be all right with these guys.
The thing with Anselmino, like, I've actually watched Anselmino for Boca, because I follow Boca and stuff. Boca themselves aren't doing too good, but it's not because of Anselmino. Like, Anselmino is actually decent. I think, especially for his age, he's good. And I think in the cups and stuff, he'll be really, really good at it for the B team. And I'm excited to get him in January. I completely forgot that we had him in the book. So in that case, like, get us a solid starting center back, please. And that way, either one of Fofana or Colwell can start playing with the B team, because we cannot continue with that center back pairing. We just can't.
No.
Like, it's just impossible. It will cost us at some point in the It will cost us at some point, whether it's in the Conference League or in the FA Cup or whatever. And it's this the thing. Like, Maresca, I just find it interesting. Like, Maresca, for example, he recognizes that Cole Fofana need time to gel and become more solid defensively, and he knows Sanchez is a bum, so he plays Lavia Caicedo because they provide so much defensive cover in that midfield that the problems sometimes don't even reach the defense. But then the midfield that he put out today was not physical at all. We were getting ran through in the midfield, and when you have the defensive line of Disasi and Badiashile trying to hold it down, well, like, we can't do enough. We just can't. And for me personally, like, I just think that, I think both of them have to go. And I think, like, since we have Anselmino coming in January, please try to get rid of one of these bums in January. Get us a good starting center back, a goalkeeper, and that's fine, bro. We'll figure everything out, rest out in summer. But I am now worried, every single game now, if Fofana gets injured or Colwell gets injured, our B team is looking spooky, bro. And even some certain games, like, it's scary. It's genuinely scary. And it's the same thing, by the way. If the conversations we have, God forbid, anything happens to Caicedo, spooky conversations. And this game has shown us this. Our B team is good for the Conference League, but it shows that if we had to rely on them for every Sunday, every Saturday, we would be getting cooked.
Yeah, no, and I get that 100%, and I hope that these players that we're talking about, like Anselmino and stuff, they come to this team and they can do something. And I think in the next window, whether it be January or summer, we do really need to consider either goalkeeper or center backs. Like, we really need to tighten up on that. Yeah, and that's what I was saying, Scott. Like, at this point, like, when we can, at the first availability, either buy another goalkeeper or see what Penders can do, or bring back Petrovic. Because, speaking of Petrovic, bring back Petrovic, because at this point, I'm not convinced with Jurgensen, and I'm not convinced with Sanchez.
Yep.
I think Jorgensen was good today. I can't lie.
How?
Scott, I was saying he was fine, and
Yeah, he was good.
and Marshall's not having apparently for some reason.
I don't think he did anything.
Scott.
No, genuinely, I don't think he did anything wrong. I think every issue that he ended up having was caused because of either our midfield or our defense. Like, the one time where he had to do that Cruyff turn is because Enzo Fernandez tried to play a 1-2 with him in our box. Like, what are you doing?
But Scott,
he wasn't bad today.
He wasn't at fault for any of the goals.
He was. I just think he's. The problem is, like, if we are replacing him with Sanchez, like, right? That's what everybody says, right? Oh, he has to take Sanchez's spot. I still don't think that he's the type of keeper that we need for Chelsea. That's my issue, bro.
No, like as a long-term number one, I agree. But I'm saying like right now, like if you put him in our, because the thing is, I think, as I said, I think a lot of the problems that he ended up having was because of who he had in front of him. I'm saying if you take him and put him with the back line and especially the midfield that we normally have, I think you see a much better performance from him. Because I think that he has shown that he has at least got the number one. I think outside of a couple of poor passes, I thought today his ball playing was decent. Like I thought having the ball at his feet, I thought was actually pretty good. I thought he didn't really have much to do from save perspective, but that's because like created that much outside of the goals they scored. And so yeah, I think a lot of it was just caused by what was in front of him. I thought he was one of 3 players today that could actually come off the pitch with their head held high.
Yep. I don't agree with that.
Head held high is I don't know.
Head held up as in there are 3 players that's like I'd say him, Kukurea, and Mudryk can walk off that pitch and go, I think that I don't think I did myself a disservice. Every other player on that football pitch should come off and look at themselves in the mirror and go, what the hell was I doing?
Yeah, they were straight. Yeah.
But here's the thing, though, like, and this is my problem with what you're saying, Scott, and obviously it's just my opinion. We're going to have differences of opinions. But, like you were saying about the passing ability and stuff, I feel like if this was Sanchez in between the sticks and Sanchez gives away the one pass that was given away today to the Newcastle player that Jurgensen was lucky didn't go behind the net, then you would have had different energy for Sanchez and said that guy was shit. He doesn't need to start. Like, I'm just saying, like, where's the consistency here? Because today Jurgensen was just as shaky as Sanchez would be normally in his games when he plays.
No, but he was.
He was. I had a lot of I had quite a few nervous moments today.
In my opinion, he wasn't. And the thing is, as well, is like there's a couple things. Number one, as I said, is a lot of it is.
Mind you, I would like to see the better partnership because I am curious now that you said that.
The difference with Sanchez is if that had happened where he gave the ball away in that position, there's 2 things. Number one, it's a case of that's par for the course with Sanchez because we've seen it so much, whereas with Jorgensen we haven't. And number 2 is Sanchez would have done that multiple times in a game.
Yep.
Leading up to that point. And that's the thing. Outside of one long pass we kicked out for a throw-in, maybe 2, I don't remember him really giving the ball away in terms of passing.
No, it wasn't like Newcastle. Newcastle was horrible.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Game, yeah.
And that's where it's where Sanchez does that all the time. And that's where I say I'm not saying he was incredible. I'm saying because he just didn't have a lot to do. Because ultimately, I don't remember him making. No, he might have made 1 or 2 saves, but I don't really remember. He
did have the one save in the beginning of the game with the header or something.
I remember
like that,
1 or 2 saves.
Flying header where it kind of slipped out.
And then the one Cruyff turn moment, which I don't put on him. He just didn't really have a lot to do. That's the thing. Yeah. That's the ultimate problem I think Jorgensen has at the moment. Is I think so far in games he hasn't had a lot to do because most of the goals we've conceded with him in goal have been because these defenders are stupid.
This is true.
Can I ask the question, guys? Like, I know you've
talked
a lot about the
By the way,
because I wanted to go on to Cucurella next. Yeah.
Because there's been one guy that I think we've not spoken about. That's in the back line, and that's obviously Tosin. What's everyone's thoughts on him? Because I feel like no one's really spoken about.
You just asked me earlier.
Since the Liverpool game,
I didn't hear.
I think up until the Liverpool game, I thought he was in the minutes he'd had, he was good. I thought up until the Liverpool game, and I was arguing. I can't remember what game it was, but there was a game that Fofana had. Up until that game, I was arguing Tosin had been better. Since the Liverpool game, Panathinaikos, I thought he was good. But yeah, that Liverpool game was awful. And today
the occasion got to him, bro. It's so clear it got to him.
And the thing with Tosin, I'll say the biggest thing with Tosin for me is it's so clear that he is not better than what we've got. Which for me, I understand he's meant to be a depth piece, but it's I
think he's all right, honestly.
No, he's all right, but he's not better than what we've got. The whole
Fofana?
I mean,
he's not better. That's the thing. He's not better than or at least I'll say this: he's not comfortably better. Say for example, Say for example, right? Tomorrow, we went out and got. I'm going to throw a name out there: Luke Haber from Leipzig. He is comfortably better. He is comfortably better than most of the centre backs we have. Comfortably better, right? Where it's Tosin, we brought him in, and it's he's just another guy in this team. So it's cool. We eventually
be team / relief. That was
we eventually need to get rid of him as well because we eventually.
How long was his contract for? Was it 2?
I don't really know, but
4 years.
if
Or-
Anselmino ends up being as good as he is meant to be, is he a right-sided centre back or a left-sided centre back out of interest?
He can play both, but he's right-footed. But he's played
Cool.
left
So if
centre
he
back.
ends up being the right-sided centre back and becomes as good as we think he is, then Tosin's then going to get sold because Fofana will then go to the backup option in that position. That's cool for profit, but then it's just the same issue I had with him when he came in. It's like that's the only reason we've signed him. It's because he was on a free and we'll eventually get profit on him. That's it.
Sorry, Scott. Can I just say one thing? Just quickly on Jorgensen, because I just checked SofaScore. So he had 29 out of 33 passes successful, which is 88%. He had 7 long balls and 4 of them were successful. If we're talking about Sanchez, that's fucking night and day.
50%, bro. 50%.
I'll say
Night
Sanchez.
and day. Over 50% of long balls
Sanchez
successful,
just has
and he has
his
88% of short balls successful.
I'd say against the same team, Sanchez didn't even hit 25%.
Exactly. The exact same team. The exact same forward line.
It was what? 25. It was 6 out of 25, I think, right? Some
Yeah,
Yes.
6
offer
out of
like that.
25, which is 20,
Something
24%.
disgusting like that. Yeah, bro.
No, 6 out of 20 and 8 out of 25 for including short passing.
No, it was long passes was 6 out of 25.
Yeah. So
Against
I'm
Newcastle.
sorry. I'm sorry. You can't be on Jorgensen when he basically faced similar kind of situations and did way better.
As I
And we
said,
had a way worse
ultimately,
back line and midfield, like Scott was saying. I'm sorry. There's night and day right now between Badiashile and Colwell, and Colwell's not that amazing god tier right now. I'd say he's above average, and there's night and day difference.
I think that's the thing with some of these players and not teams. It's like if you're looking at long term, there's quite a few guys like there are 6 or 7 guys I can say in this team that long term ain't going to be here, aren't good enough. We need to get rid of. But if you're just looking at right now for the rest of the season, Jorgensen will never ever be a long term number 1 for this club. Never.
No.
But for this season, he's the better of the 2 goalkeepers.
Yes.
That's clear to me. And it's the same with Tosin. Tosin is a good squad player to have for this season, but ultimately, long term, he's never ever going to make it at this football club.
Agreed.
In terms of be a long term guy, who's gonna stay for many years.
No, I definitely understand.
By the way, have you? I obviously was late. Have you spoken about anyone in the front line yet?
No,
No, we're still on the defense. You did mention.
You want to hear something crazy?
So on.
Ahmed was criticizing Cucurella again.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay,
Well,
okay, wait,
okay,
I think you're on the
90%
other
of it
extreme,
was
though,
him
Curry
trolling.
Pirate.
90% of it was him trolling, but he actually thought. I thought that
Fuck you,
Cucurella, watching the game, literally, I
Oh,
was like,
thank you.
I think it was all right.
I was like, Cucurella, I think was one of the
He was
better
good.
players on the pitch for us.
Probably our best
He was
player.
good.
But
that
for me,
left
it was
side in
the
general.
left-hand side was cooking, bro. That's the only
I'll
side
say
that was
that
doing
left
anything,
side
bro.
was cooking. That was good, man.
No, I literally said that left side is cooking, and Ahmed would kick me out of the stream, and he's like, "Okay, now we're glazing. Now we're just glazing, bro." You're such a fraud, bro.
I'm such a drunk. I feel like you guys
Fraud watch.
I don't take it seriously. That seriously. You can ask him, bro. The amount of drinks I've made, for hilarious in regards to what's the other competition that we were in Conference League?
Conference. Yeah, no. Every time it's conference and CARABAO, we were
We just but
he just says ex-player founder level. That's his favorite joke when we're playing Conference League or CARABAO. That's his
I
go-to.
can't lie, man. Mudryk's found his level for sure. Listen, let's be
Oh yeah, 100%. No.
You're not wrong, but damn.
But
He was good today, though.
I think
He
we
was.
would try work his way into the starting
You're
lineup.
very
in the-
intelligent.
Yeah.
Very
If
intelligent.
he's performing like that, even when he came on, I don't know who he came.
You know what, guys? Yeah.
But when he did that
I don't-
good
I
cross
don't
to
wanna-
Nkunku, and that could have been assist and goal.
I don't want to get to the attackers. There's a guy that we need to talk about in midfield, man. You know?
No, yeah. We're gonna go to the.
No, Ahmed. There is
past
one
the Cucurella
attacker
with that.
that I need to speak about.
I know you're gonna speak about.
You'll
but
definitely
go
get a
ahead,
chance.
Is it Felix?
But
Okay. So on Tosin, is that it on Tosin, or are we good?
I think we're done. I think we're done with Tosin. But I agree with pretty much Scott nailed everything on the head. I'm pretty in agreement with what he said on Tosin and what everyone said on Tosin. But Cucurella today, I don't know. I thought he was okay. He wasn't horrible, but I feel like today his passing was his passing was what was he was getting dispossessed a lot, and that could be in part to do with the system. It could be in part to do with just the amount of pressing that Newcastle were doing, but it was frustrating me at a lot of points in the game.
Can I explain?
I'm looking at the stats. His passing accuracy was not even as good as Badiashile, and Badiashile was horrendous today. So that says a lot.
But do you know why? Like, this is what I peeped during the game. It's because
Talk to
he
me.
literally saw that the rest of the team was absolutely shite. If the midfield was doing his job, his passing wouldn't be that bad. But I noticed, especially in that
Yeah.
second half, you saw how far forward he was going. He was pretty much like, bro,
True.
screw it. If midfield, you know, who I'm assuming we'll eventually talk about, did their job, he wouldn't
course.
be this bad.
But
Wait,
that's the
wait,
thing
wait, so
too.
what do
Like,
you mean by passing? He had 88% passing success and he had 3 key passes. He's the one. He
Yeah.
was the most creative
80
player we had. Besides Mudryk.
88's not good.
Yes, it is.
88 is
It
not
is, it is,
good.
it is. For the
Yeah,
positions
yeah,
he was
no.
finding himself in,
He had
like, he was trying to
55
through balls.
passes
Yeah,
successful out of
for the
63.
position he's playing in, it's good.
Yeah, for the
Yeah.
position he's
Aye.
playing in is fine.
Yeah, it is.
I-
He had
but
Especially in the
like,
second
I-
half.
That's good.
Especially in the second half. Especially in the second
I expect better from Cucurella.
half. Okay,
like
I hear
that-
you on that. I hear you on that.
And not even that, but like,
when he has no midfield in front of him.
Yeah, he had 0.
oh,
midfield.
in that
No,
case,
I'll-
then
I'll-
Disasi's passing was
Loving
great
it, loving
today too.
it.
Let's praise
Yeah, look at-
Disasi's passing.
Nah.
Crazy.
I'm really, you know,
Yo.
there we
No,
go,
but
man.
but at the end of the day, I'm not gonna go over the line like you are, Ahmed, obviously, because I also understand the fact that the Cucurella is playing high up the pitch,
What I'm
which
saying, man,
also
Gusta's not sustained.
which is also what kind of baffles me. I mean, we can get into the Maresca part of this, where this is like part of him to blame. Is why are we playing Cucurella in the midfield, Renato Veiga in the midfield, Enzo Fernandez in the midfield, KDH in the midfield?
But do you
Like,
KDH was
know
not in the
why
it's
midfield.
Marshall?
just-
KDH was
Do
not
you
in
know
the
why
midfield.
Marshall?
88 was in the midfield.
But he's a midfielder. That's what I'm trying to get at.
But he wasn't in the
playing.
midfield.
Joao Felix too.
Felix wasn't playing in the midfield.
He wasn't
We'll
in
get
the
to
midfield
him.
either. Yeah, we will trust. We will cook.
So-
No,
so-
but
yeah.
let's leave the Maresca.
But you understand, like those are all midfielders, right? Like,
Can we talk about the
Yeah, so
midfield?
can I give you an example?
yeah,
So
we
he-
can get into the
Veiga,
midfield.
for
But yeah, go
example,
ahead,
has
CP.
CDM because he's played there before, and we have no fucking physicality, and this man's a 6'3" monster.
Yes,
with
thank
two lightweights and KDH and
Let's talk
fucking
about it.
Enzo Fernandez, who's
Talk
slower
about
than a fucking snail
And
walk.
the Burner Boy, mate. More
But
like,
CP,
you know
CP, wouldn't you say it would have been better today if we had just had, if you wanted Cucurella in the match, you
Yeah.
have Cucurella at right back and you have Renato at left back inverting.
Essentially. But then
That,
Yeah.
that way you don't have to
Well, Marshall, how much is that gonna
shoehorn
change the
in
game?
KDH at right wing.
Marshall, how much is that
Well,
going to
we
change
put
the game?
him in right wing because Sancho got sick.
Champ.
And that would still make our midfield lightweight because then you have Cucurella inverting. Our midfield's still fucking lightweight. Now the tallest man is Cucurella at 5'8".
Say that
That's
part
the
again?
problem. No, I'm saying if you had, even if Vega was right back,
Ow.
I mean,
Yeah.
sorry, Cucurella was right back. If you're having Cucurella invert, you're still gonna have this man who's like 5'8" at tops.
Mm-hmm.
That's the issue. We have no physicality, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then Sancho
Yeah.
got sick, and he can't play on the weekend. That's why you wanted to rest Madueke because it's gonna be probably Madueke and Neto.
Mm-hmm.
Marshall, can we be honest? Do you know why the reason why he had to start right mid? You know, and why we had to have Vega in midfield and everything like they were saying right now. It's because there's a guy that's in midfield that plays CDM for us. Where's the number 8?
Speak on it. Speak
You
on
know,
it.
you
Speak
know,
on it.
all he likes to do is whipped crosses now, and we understand now, you know, with the whip and stuff, why that's the case now. You know what I mean? You know,
Yo.
with the second player. And listen, this guy, bro, he's got his change not by Lavia. And the reality is, bro, not good enough. He's not good enough for this team. Not good
Yep.
enough for us at all. And his name is Enzo J. Fernandez.
Bro,
And Marshall, that's your guy. So, you know,
That fucking guy can play in Villa fucking Real.
Curry, bro. I don't even need you to speak to him about that. I need the guy that's, you know,
Don't-
saying
don't-
he
don't-
gets too much talking.
don't want to be here later.
You know what I mean? Please talk to me, Mr. Mark DBDX, yeah, about this guy. Talk to me.
Okay. Well, I for one, I'm not going to say that a player who played a pivotal role in winning 2 Copa Americas and a World Cup is not good enough for Chelsea. Was he good today? No, obviously he's not. But
Can I ask you a
He's
question, then, Marshall? I'm gonna hit
But
the
when
first
you
point
when
straight
you
away.
say
Let me
when
hit
you
that.
say when you
Let me
say
hit
shit
point
like
first.
that though,
Please,
Ahmed,
please,
when you
I'm
say
asking
stuff
you-
like that, Ahmed,
Marshall,
you are
can I
implying
ask you a
that this
question?
player that cost us 105 million pounds is ass. Like,
Yes,
come
Marshall,
on now.
Let me hit the
Yes.
point of view.
Okay.
Let me-
You guys heard it. He said yes.
Yes, and
So you just think
you know-
he's a
you know-
shit player.
Give you an example.
Like
who
you
also-
have
who's
no
also won a World Cup and
footballing
everything fucking
IQ.
puts
Like
like
you
Dembele
really
and
think
No,
he's
Martial.
shit.
Marshall,
and he's
but
out.
Marshall, let me give you an example. I've got a good example.
Like we
That's
can't be
fine.
rational about this guy. Like come on.
It is not Marshall. I am being rational. Just give me a moment, please.
You just said you think he's shit. There's nothing rational about you thinking he's shit. He won a fucking World Cup and 2 Copa Americas with Argentina. Every time we see him play against Argentina, is he shit when he plays against Argentina? That's what I'm saying. Be rational.
Marshall, let me actually do my screen like this because I think I need to face
Go ahead.
I'm talking to you now, yeah? Sorry. Marshall, at Chelsea Football Club, he has been shit. Let's not get this twisted, okay?
International
A good example I can
he
give
hasn't.
you. A
He's
good
been shit
example.
this season.
Let me speak,
He's been
Marshall,
shit
bro.
this
Marshall,
season.
I'll let you,
I'm just correcting everything you're
That's
saying because
not
you're
true.
waffling.
That's not
No,
true,
he's not.
Marshall. No, it's not true.
Like the
Marshall,
generalities is ridiculous. This is what I had to do with fucking Ziyech. This is
Marshall,
ridiculous.
Let me give you an example, please. Let me
Come on.
give you an example of a player at Chelsea that I'm pretty sure everyone here would agree upon that was shit at Chelsea. But you know, before he came to us and when he was at this different place, he was amazing. Goal. He even won a Ballon d'Or at that place. Yeah, Alexander Shevchenko.
Shevchenko, yep.
Yes, great
Andrew.
example that I want to use.
We had
right?
fucking Crespo in
At
our
Chelsea-
lives before.
Yes, yeah. These guys here were great top players, yeah. But when they came to Chelsea, they were
Yeah,
shit.
shit.
That's what it is, bro. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We can be objective and say Enzo Fernandez, yes, when he's playing for Argentina, he's a great player. But when he's at Chelsea, he is shit. Why can't we say that, Marshall? You may not like the vernacular I'm using, but that is really the point. When it comes
Amir,
down
can I
to
give you another example? Who does great internationally, but is now doing shit for the current club? He's at fucking Kylian Mbappe. Madrid wants him fucking gone like tomorrow. Because he's great for France, he's showing up for France, but he's being dog shit for
Okay,
Real
okay.
Madrid.
But this is something that I've always said. If you show up internationally, bro,
I'm giving
I
shit for my
and then
club.
I know you're gonna show up for club. There are people when you see them show up internationally, then you gotta question yourself. The thing is with Enzo, I followed Argentina for years now. The reason why Enzo works really well in Argentina's system is because he's surrounded by Gallaghers, bro. They stay running.
exactly.
Yep.
And the issue is, in the Prem, with the team and the way that Maresca wants to play, he's not going to be surrounded by purely runners.
And that is the
that's why
point I made to you,
Caicedo
RSM.
stay getting gassed.
what-
And he himself as an
Ahmed,
individual.
how is that Enzo's issue though? That's the
No,
thing.
no, wait,
How
wait,
is
wait,
that
wait,
Enzo
wait,
Fernandez's
that's my-
problem?
that's my
For this
point, wait.
league.
But the thing is, so that's not Enzo's problem, right? The thing would be, okay, if we really went through with building the team around Enzo, we would have surrounded him with runners. The issue is, we now have a focal point in the team that will be able to take us to greater heights if we build around them rather than Enzo. And that's just unfortunate. It's just the way that is, bro. Enzo was brought in to be the focal point of this team. But Palmer stole that limelight. Palmer is now
Also-
the future of this team. And the thing is, Enzo, in this league, he himself has to be a physical unit. He's not going to be surrounded by runners in this specific team. So there you go, bro.
Sorry,
It is what it is, man.
No,
It
no,
is what
no,
it
no,
is.
no, Dark, not today.
I agree.
Not
Listen,
today.
I agree with everything. I agree with everything that Ahmed said, and I think it's time that we had this conversation. The issue is he's going to have to be happy with getting these BT minutes because he's not getting in ahead of Lavia in
Yeah,
any game
that's
that is going to
fine.
need it.
That's
Bro,
totally
I'll be real.
fine.
The issue,
Yeah.
my issue with Enzo is not like he needs to be happy with these minutes. Like if you're getting these minutes and these B team minutes, I expect you to perform. Because if you're not even performing in the B team, what the fuck are you doing in this football club?
No,
Exactly.
thank you. And then with this, thank you.
And the thing is as well, by the way, RSM just quickly on the building the team around him, you can't with Maresca, because the whole point is, as you said there, you got if you want to have Enzo in this team, you need to put runners around him. That doesn't work in this system because we
Yes.
don't play with a system that has a lot of runners. Like even the runners we have, they are technical runners, like Caicedo. Lavia is not really a runner; he's a technical player. Like
yes.
outside of Caicedo, especially in midfield, we don't have runners. Like Dewsbury-Hall's not a runner. Gallagher was a runner, and we got rid of him because he didn't fit.
And unless we want to do to Caicedo what happened to Conte, bro, we can't have him literally
No.
running his heart out all
And
full
the
90
thing is-
minutes to make up for Enzo.
And I'll be real, a lot of my issues, especially today with Enzo, isn't necessarily wouldn't have been fixed if we had a runner next to him. Because the stuff that Enzo was doing today, number one on the ball,
Those
my man was
passes,
playing like the worst version of Jorginho. Everything was backwards and sideways.
Scott, did you see the video, by the way, on Twitter?
I talked earlier. My man tried to play a 1-2 with our goalkeeper in our box. Are you fucking
Can I?
stupid?
Can
But
I
this is
give
the
you,
problem.
Can I give you some
He was
stats
put-
for today?
This is the issue.
For
Like, let's-
Enzo?
They say let's play him deep line playmaker. Bro, he's not
Ah.
Caicedo. He can't play that role.
No,
And
no.
do the one.
He definitely not when he's being pressed the way he was
it's,
pressed.
and you know what it is, Scott, yeah, and
Welcome to the big boys.
my problem is, yeah, you know, Marshall and a lot of people, even myself at times, have believed.
I swear to
this
God,
guy's
if you
a top-
throw another junior
this
out,
guy,
I'm kicking you
this
out.
this guy is a top player. I actually include myself in this, so therefore, you know, that's not just a jab. It's a jab myself
Okay,
as well.
now you're
Yeah.
now you're contradicting yourself because
So, yes,
fucking 5 minutes ago
myself-
you said he's a shit player.
Listen, let me speak. Listen,
This is what I'm saying, RSM. This is why he fucking gets you rattled.
Yeah, I can't lie. Saying that is
No,
crazy.
no, it's not. I said yeah at one point in time, and that's why
Yeah.
I said it.
No,
Yes.
Oh wait, Ahmed, you said you got catfished.
I see. Yes, that's what I'm saying. At
Yes.
one point in time,
The,
this
the,
is
the,
the point
the
I'm
Tinder
making.
account was a fake picture.
Yes,
That's
this is the point I'm trying to
crazy.
make to Marshall.
That's a
Like
you problem.
Marshall, when I'm saying this, Marshall thinks I'm just like trying to be hypocrite. I'm not being hypocrite. I'm making the point that I
Yeah,
was
I
in
hear
his
you.
position at one point in
You
time.
gotta
right?
ask him for that
But-
picture
but
with
like-
the thumbs up, no filter.
Yeah, but like the point
Put a
I'm trying to
spoon
make.
next
Damn, that was oddly specific there, Marshall.
Yeah, that was
Oddly
really
specific. You said thumbs up.
Yo,
Like,
Marshall. Whoa.
okay.
Yeah, but like.
Listen,
Yeah.
you learn from mistakes, okay?
So like,
Hey, yeah.
anyway, as I was going back to the Enzo point, like
No,
listen,
that's a
at
good
one
idea.
point in time, I thought, yeah, this guy's a great player.
brother.
And you know what we expect from great
Yeah.
players, guys? What do we expect from great players? If they are not being played in their position, they adapt. They get better at that position. They develop their game to allow themselves to play that different position. We've seen that before. Kovacic, yeah, did that for us at times where he was, even
You
if it was not
wanted
necessarily a 6.
You wanted
yeah.
him.
You know what I mean? Even though Kovacic was not necessarily a 6,
I was
right?
happy with
He
Jorginho.
was able to play that position for us at times and do a good job. The problem
Yeah.
is Enzo can't even do a good job in another position. He
Bro,
can't
the
do it in a
revisionism-
position.
Yo, the
the
revisionism
worst
is
thing-
happening already. Check this out, Scott.
No, the thing
can't lie to you, he's not
Revisionism
lying.
is happening already.
Is he lying?
I mean, what the thing with Enzo, right, is I disagree with some of what Ahmed said or some of what said. He 100% can play the 6. We've seen it before. He can play the 6. He can. There's a lot of things that he wasn't doing in this game that he can do. That's what's baffling to me. The regression that I'm seeing from Enzo. That's the thing. Like he's
Enzo
regressed
slander.
so many
Fine,
things.
let's go.
What's that, Brian?
Like he has shown to be press resistant. We've seen that. He seems to have lost all ability to be press resistant. He has the
Yeah.
ability to pick the ball up from the defense and start attacks. He seems to have lost that ability.
Scott, he lost possession 23 times today.
I don't think he's.
23.
Yes.
Yeah.
Are we surprised?
And he's
Dude,
not
this
even
is
the
second
camp.
time
He's not
done
even
this.
the camp, guys.
This is the second time he's done this month. He's lost his
What
ball
is he?
20 times.
Yo, I like Banana's comments. 6, 8,
The
10.
second time
He's
he's done
just
this month, he loses the ball 23 times.
That's what I'm
Yes.
saying.
great comment, bro.
Like, this is what I'm saying. It's almost the same thing with Badiashile, where it's like he was incredible as a centre back. All of a sudden, like something happened, and this guy is now arse. It's the same with Enzo.
It's
Like,
mental,
it's not the
with
injuries, by the
Badiashile,
way.
it's mental, bro.
It's not the injuries. It might be mental with Enzo as well, because my guy was able to do all this stuff as a 6 under Potter. All of this stuff. The only thing he couldn't really do was defend in transition, but that's not changed, and I don't expect that from Enzo. The stuff I expect him to do is passing. My guy tried to switch it on his left foot today and put it out for a
my
throw-in.
God, bro.
Don't talk to me.
That was
That was horrible.
That was Barfin Racing. That was Barfin Racing.
Bro, that was horrible. He
Looked
Did
at
you
that
see-
pass,
yeah,
yeah.
did you see the
and he
video?
was like,
He just walked away. He's like, yeah, no man, fuck.
And it's like everything every time especially in the first half, he picked the ball up from the defense or the goalkeeper, it was backwards. It's like, do you want to turn? Like, even the goal we conceded, the first one, he comes and like basically stands next to Veiga. Like, what are you expecting him to do if he passes to you there? What are you doing? You're not turning. I know that much. You're not turning. So where's the ball going? Backwards to the goalkeeper.
Oh, kill me, bro.
But here's the thing where like I don't disagree with what most of you guys are saying. There's just two notions I disagree with just because of the wording of it, and I just want to differentiate. I think that this season, for the most part, Enzo has been shit. I disagree with calling him shit because I know he's not shit. I know he's a good player. On his day, potentially a world-class player.
Marshall, I completely agree. The issue is, and this is the main point. We always ask, why can't we see these performances he has for Argentina, etc. The reason we're not to, and we're never going to see it, is because the team we are building
set up that way.
will never facilitate.
I understand
him
that.
to be that player.
What's worse for him is who we've got on loan.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the
Santos.
worst thing
Yeah.
for him.
Yeah.
Like he could afford to do this nonsense if like we just had a bunch of like Gallagher's or something on loan. Like if we had no one. Like, but we've got a guy who is killing it in a league. Like he is dominating the best teams in that league. He is arguably the best midfielder this season in that league. He is killing it. Like he also is killing it in a league which has a very vast and like back catalogue of players that have managed to transition from that league. It's an easily transitionable league. So you know with some level of confidence that even if he can't perform to the exact same level, he's gonna show some level of familiarity or similarity with this season. In this season.
Yeah.
If that's the case, that's your number 1, 2, and 3 midfielders spot taken. So what's he at this point? 4th choice midfielder?
No, but Scott, and that's what I'm saying, bro. Like, this is another thing too, low key. I rate Maresca because I'm sure that he's been seeing this shit in practice, and he's like, you know what, Lavia, you're starting, bro.
Lavia's his guy.
Lavia's his guy.
And by the way, Scott, I want to add, you know, what's it called? The manager himself, Maresca, he's been talking about, I need another tall CDM. He's been mentioning that he wants more players in your position. So he's either saying you're not good enough, or he just say, or get your act together before he wants to come in.
And this is the thing, he wants another piece in midfield around Caicedo. So he has like the Caicedo Lavia. He wants another profile to be around Caicedo because I think Caicedo is undroppable, and I think we can all agree with that.
We need a backup for Caicedo.
We do need a backup for Caicedo, by the way.
I think ultimately, I think we have one, or will have one with time. Like I think Leslie could easily be that, and I think with time Veiga could be that. I think it just takes time, but I think the difference between those two guys is both of those guys I think are showing enough where like you can put the time in with them. Whereas like Enzo, like you can just fuck off.
So can I speak about?
Can I speak on?
I think let Prime go because
Prime.
Yeah, because
cook, bro.
You guys all got tricked by this World Cup. It's Fugazi World Cup that Argentina won. I didn't deserve it because it's Messi, and we have to give this little midget fraud a World Cup to prove.
Can I just correct you on something before? Like, I can't believe you started. I gotta correct you on something. I never wanted Enzo. I rather have kept Jorginho, but I was sold on Enzo. So
I wasn't. Oh, okay. Well, the fact that you got sold on Enzo, you got
not by Enzo's performances, by other people telling me why Enzo's better. But go ahead.
And this is why I don't listen to people. Anyway,
that's why I don't listen to you two, I guess.
Damn.
Don't listen to me. I was right about.
You're people too, aren't you?
No, I'm not people. I'm not. You think I'm human like you guys? No.
Yeah, explains a lot.
Then why are you, man? Then why are you, man?
Let me. Don't interrupt Scott, but you interrupt me, Marshall. Let me cook this. Anyways.
I interrupted Scott. Go ahead.
He's not human. He's an Irishman. That's what he is. They're different.
He said he's the second worst thing. Oh,
is it leprechaun?
What's funny is that there was the sign that said no blacks, no dogs, no Irish. So that's actually funny. Anyway.
Never. I'm just not gonna say it.
It's fine. RSM, you suit Casually FC. You know what the channel's about, man. It's fine. Anyways,
you act like I know this shit, bro. That's some European Irish racism, dog. We have some good old, you're either white or black racism in the US. That's it, bro. Like they know different. Hey, hold up. You seen that Family Guy one where he holds up the thing to the guy in the car, and then he's like, okay, not okay. That's it. That's all we do. We're not differentiating about anything else. Like, bro, I'm telling you right now, it's not like, oh, you're Irish, you're Italian. Nah, bro. It's just
you're just Mexican. That's what the cool is now.
Yes, bro. I'm literally been called Mexican more than
actually, that's very true. I fall in that boat.
My point was on Casually, there's a lot of because of the host Marshall, there's a lot of Ismo. But regardless, we're not talking about Marshall's problem. Not Enzo Fernandez's problem.
Yeah. We're talking about
the real racismo. Go ahead.
The man likes to do big crossing dance. You know what I mean? Interesting.
Let Prime talk. Let Prime talk, please.
Okay.
No, he doesn't.
Anyway, one problem at a time. We'll do Enzo first, then we'll do it with Marshall. Enzo. This fan base, this world got tricked. Fugazi World Cup, because we had to rig it to give Messi a World Cup. We have to give the GOAT a World Cup. We couldn't allow Ronaldo to get one. We have to give it to Messi.
Ronaldo's a bum.
People think that Enzo's this amazing guy. His technical ability, I agree. His technical ability is class. I rate players of Enzo's profile who can actually control the tempo of the game. That's why I rate Jorginho so highly. That's why my favorite player of all time is Pirlo. I rate players of that sort of mold. My problem with Enzo isn't the fact of that he is weak. My problem isn't the fact of his defensive stats are poor. I know all of that stuff, so it doesn't really bother me. My biggest problem with Enzo Fernandez is the things you're meant to be good at, you're not good at. You can't control a tempo of a game. Our games are so hectic when you play in midfield. And I'm not even talking about the top sides. When we played Brighton the first half, it was so hectic because of you. Couldn't control the game for us. When we played Wolves, it was so hectic because you couldn't control the game for us. And it's weird because I've seen you have good games this season as well. Second half against Wolves, I thought you were brilliant. Second half against Brighton, same thing. I thought you were brilliant. So I've seen you have good games. And then I see you have absolute stinkers. I think Scott or RSM made a point of that this team isn't built for him. I disagree. Part of the reason why Maresca is here is because of Enzo. We're building this team for you. This team is not built for Palmer. It's built for Enzo to flourish in. And he's still not doing it.
I would disagree. But
the profile. No, it's not, because the profile of Maresca is for Enzo to flourish.
No, I agree on that. But the players around him and the team we're building, the actual team, the system. You're right. I agree. The system should favor him and his positives. The issue is like, even in the system, it's not there. But the thing is, he's not delivering his positives in a system where we should see it, and his negatives are too overwhelming at this point.
True, but he doesn't even do the basics.
That's what I'm saying. If he was doing the basics and his good stuff, then we wouldn't care as much about the negatives.
He has a brilliant 60-yard long ball. I agree. That's all well and good, but I don't care about you spamming balls forward. Just play simple 5-yard passes. This fan base crucified Jorginho because the guy wasn't spamming long through balls for Havertz, Mason Mount, Pulisic, Callum Hudson-Odoi. Who else did we have? Timo Werner, fat boy Romelu Lukaku to continuously miss chances. But yet, we're praising Enzo because he's spamming the ball forward to Cole Palmer and Nicholas Jackson.
You know what's crazy, Prime? Check this out.
If Jorginho played in this team right now, he would flourish. Jorginho, we bought playing.
You know what's crazy, Prime? The revisionism is happening already. Look at this.
Look at this.
Look at this. Look at this.
I've been
now people are seeing what we saw when Jorginho was here.
I've been defending Jorginho, even before the whole Tuchel thing. I've been defending him. And what's funny is when Jorginho left and Enzo came in, Enzo played well. Enzo played well.
Was a mistake regardless.
It was a mistake, but Enzo actually played well. You know why he played well? Because he was playing deeper in midfield, controlling the tempo. Poch comes in, plays Enzo as a 10, does bad. I don't criticize Enzo so much last season. CP, you even know this. I was on Sheik's channel defending Enzo because of the injuries and what he was going through. And the whole thing. I was telling people that people should kind of relax, that that just give him another year. But as of right now, I am absolutely done. If Real Madrid want him, Man United want him, PSG, give me 50 mil or whatever. I don't care. Let him go. Because we have superior midfielders. Lavia, Caicedo, Oguchoku, Santos.
Yes.
Veiga. I don't count Veiga as a midfielder, to be fair. But
he's just flexing.
If you want to include him, we have superior midfielders that will actually perform. They may not be of the same talent level of an Enzo, but at least they will actually perform for me, and that's all I care about right now.
They can do the basics.
I don't care if Enzo goes to Man City and does well. I don't care, because you're not doing it at my club. Just like I don't care about Kai Havertz playing well at Arsenal. You weren't doing it for my team.
He's not even playing well.
I care. Why would I cry? I'm done.
Okay, sorry. For Enzo, I'm sorry. We've had lots of people keep on talking about with Badiashile and him this magical season they had of 6 fucking months under Potter, and then they've been dog shit since. We've had lots of players who've been good for us for 6 months. We had fucking Morata, who we thought was good for us for 6 months, and then he turned out to be dog shit. We've had Ballon d'Or winners who had a good start. We had fucking Deco come in, score 2-3 goals for us in the beginning of his stint at Chelsea, and was dog shit for us. And Deco's 10 times the fucking player that Enzo Fernandez is. I don't care. He's not been good enough. I was with Prime last season saying that, guys, let's give it a break. He is injured, so on and so forth. And in that stream, you know this, Prime, and I've told others, I don't care who the fuck our manager was for this season, even if it was Poch. This man had to fucking perform, and he is not good enough for this team. I don't care what the fuck he does afterwards. Morata started balling for Atletico Madrid, but he wasn't balling for Chelsea. Do I give a fuck? No. If you're talking about World Cup winners or blah, 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 people like fucking Ousmane Dembele were part of the fucking World Cup squad, even though he wasn't a major part, that won the World Cup in 2018 and then went to Barcelona for 150 fucking million euros and was dog shit for them. I don't care. They haven't performed well for my fucking squad. I don't care what you do internationally. Internationally is good for what your personal career, not for my fucking club. If you're dog shit, I don't give a fuck. If you're Messi in my team, you can win all the fucking World Cups you want. If you aren't doing dog shit for my team, you can go fuck right off. And we had this conversation when we were talking about having the old Chelsea back. That's the standard. If you're not doing it for my team after a year stint that I've given you of grace, you can fuck right off. That's for every fucking player. I don't give a shit.
But that's the thing. Like, even last year, Enzo
He was not good. No, we're not babying him. Stop this. He was a solid, for him, he was a solid 5.5.
Yeah, last year he sucked, but like
he had 4 games out of the entire season where we're like, that's a good player. That's the Enzo I want to see.
Halfway through the season, I'm just pointing this out. At this point last season, around this point last season, these were the stats that Enzo Fernandez was putting on per 90.
Yeah, that's
so
cool.
I'm not having it that he was always this shit.
No, like he fought like for most of last season. He was
not
bad.
babying him. That's the point I'm trying to get at.
But but for most of last season he was bad. But you could mitigate it. You could allow for it for 2 reasons: 1, injuries, and 2, because the system he was playing in. The system we are playing in now is tailored to the way he wants to play, or the way we thought he wanted to play, and there are no injury problems.
Yeah,
and he's been shit. So like that's the thing. I'm the same with CP. Of like, I wasn't on his neck as much, as like CP and Prime have been, but I was of the mindset of like, okay, this is now the season where you need to like perform and you need to show something, because you've had 6 months where you were great, you've had a year where you were crap, but I can allow it. This is now your first proper year, like of full season, your first full season where you are captain technically because Reece was injured. You are in a system that suits you. You've had enough time here, get used to the country, league, whatever. So like now I expect you to perform, and he hasn't. He's been crap.
Exactly.
No,
and the thing is, Marshall, I gave so many last year. I gave like even the likes of Sterling. I defended last year because as bad as he is, I understand that the structure and the coaching was terrible for everybody. So I gave a lot of players leeway I probably shouldn't have gotten. I gave it for Gallagher as well, as much I didn't like him. We now have a manager that's getting the best out of people. We're seeing Jackson improve from last season. He's no longer this like erratic bozo in front of goal. So if Jackson can improve, why can't Enzo improve when this system is built for you?
Mudryk is improving. I'm seeing Mudryk be competent. Fucking Mudryk.
Caicedo's gone up a level too, bro.
I just want to make a point about Caicedo.
Go ahead, Ahmed.
Caicedo is doing the stuff that you're expecting Enzo to do.
That's true.
Even Lavia to an extent too.
Lavia is doing
Bro,
the long.
did you see Reece James left back? He was doing the cross switches that I wanted Enzo to do.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Which is probably another reason why Enzo isn't going to play anymore.
And so the question becomes, you already have guys that are just as good, if not better than him, that are doing his job. So
100%.
What are you giving me? What are you giving me, big man? What are you giving me that these other guys?
And the thing is, like, even defensive. The problem is, like, we're speaking just offensively.
Defensively,
bro.
Yeah.
Defensively,
he's not the guy. He's never going to be that guy.
It gets ugly,
it gets
bro.
ugly.
It gets ugly.
But we knew that. We knew that because coming into this, like, he was the inverse of Jorginho, where Jorginho was, defensively he was more solid than Enzo, but Enzo he was the yin and yang. He was the polar opposite of Jorginho, and now we're seeing.
Wait, what?
I disagree. Marshall, Enzo Fernandez.
If we pull up the stats, I pulled up the stats in the previous show, and I'm trying to look for them now. But like you see, like when it comes to the midfield aspect of the game, like okay, they're pretty much up to par. Where Enzo was better in Benfica than Jorginho was at Chelsea, just slightly. But attacking stat wise, Enzo had that over Jorginho. Where defensive stat wise, Jorginho had that over Enzo.
I agree.
In that season before we got him. That's what I'm trying to get at. CP.
Enzo Fernandez is supposed to be a Jorginho mode. Or us.
A more offensive Jorginho.
More offensive.
I don't need Enzo to be more offensive.
I know, but that's his profile for him. I'm saying that's what he.
That's why they got him, and that was the biggest complaint that the Chelsea fans had. That Jorginho doesn't give me anything going forward. Same thing they said to fucking Kovacic. They didn't have that excuse for Conte, which whatever, fine, but at the same time, like whatever. Yeah, go ahead.
Why do I expect a deep line playmaker to give me things going forward? That's dumb.
Yeah, I know. That's what I tell the Chelsea fans. That's why I tell everyone that had criticism for Jorginho.
His prime, he's not a deep line playmaker for Argentina, and he wasn't too much of a deep line playmaker for Benfica. He was more of a he sees himself as an 8, and most of the people see him as an 8 too. It's just he had amazing cover in Benfica. He had a deep line CDM with him, partnered with him in Benfica.
He has the same thing in Argentina, bro.
He has runners.
Yeah, he got dogs next to him in Argentina.
That's the thing.
When you play for Argentina, you can't be a passenger because Messi is the passenger. You have to run for Messi.
No, that's the thing. Like even within Argentina, Enzo is better defensively. However, the whole team is way better defensively than at Chelsea. That's the thing. Like everybody in Argentina runs, but especially you look at the people that have in midfield, bro. Argentina does not have the most techie midfield. Their midfield are literal like just better Gallaghers. Like if you want to look at it that way, and that's what I'm saying. Like he looks good for Argentina because he has a ton of runners around him. So his defensive, he doesn't look as bad defensively, and the stuff that he does do on offense looks like more like a positive. The issue is for here at Chelsea, not only is he not giving the offensive positives, he looks even worse defensively because we don't have him surrounded by runners.
And I will say this for Maresca, right? Yeah. I will say this. I do have a criticism of Maresca. Why is it when Enzo plays, you're always playing him as an attacking 8? That frustrates me. He shouldn't be that far further forward.
Yeah.
The game we played against Panathinaikos, and granted, it's Panathinaikos, so you use it with an asterisk. Enzo was our deepest midfielder, and he controlled the game. Why not play Enzo deeper? Like, if you're going to play Enzo and Caicedo, for whatever reason, Lavia's injured or whatever, or he's rested, play Enzo deeper and Caicedo as the attacking 8 instead of the other way around.
I want to use this as a transition point to Renato Veiga, but obviously say what you guys want to say about Enzo. Go ahead, Scott.
I was just going to say, I think recently Maresca has changed it, though. I think recently, I don't know what game it was, but I think it kind of doesn't matter what pivot we have. He's basically changed it where our double pivot is now both deep and both like they'll both sit, and we have one of the fullbacks or whatever who invert. Instead of inverting into like a DM 6 position, they invert a lot higher up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So they now invert into like either an 8 position or they're becoming part of the attack, which I think is what I want. Because like ultimately, what I want to see is Reece become that, doing that stuff. If he can handle the running and the load on him, again pause.
That's actually you know
that was actually a real pause.
That was
if he can handle that, then that's what I want to see. I want to see long term.
There's a joke I can make in recent mode. I'm not going to because I'm being nice.
There probably is, but like, fair enough. But like, that's what I want to see. But that's what I think he's done to change it. But the thing is, like, I agree. I don't want to see Enzo doing that. But like, he hasn't though recently. Like ever since I think it was the West Ham game onwards, he hasn't been getting him to do that. Like I think you look at the game today, especially, he didn't do that at all today, and was still just shit. Like he was doing the role that I thought he like. I think is best for him in that double pivot, and he was just ass, and like so was the guy next to him, I'll be honest. And the biggest thing about both of them today that is worrying, he had the ability to pick the ball up under pressure from the back line, which if you're going to play this possession heavy team, like you need to have that ability. You need to have that ability that Lavia has, where you can pick the ball up on the half turn, spin and beat a man or two. And it's like, because then you take players out of the game. If you can't do that, then every time the ball comes into you, you're either losing it or it's going backwards, and that puts more pressure on the back line. And when you have a back line in games, who, even when it's our best back line, fuck me sideways, pause. Like, you can't have that on them. Like, you can't have that much pressure that you are causing from losing the ball or passing backwards all the time. Like, I'll go back to what I said earlier. Look at how much pressure you put Jorgensen under for picking the ball pick the ball up from him on the edge of our box. You took a step forward and played it back to him, and all of the Newcastle players took 2 steps forward. So all of a sudden, Jorgensen is doing fucking Cruyff turns in the 6-yard box because you've passed the ball back to him under pressure.
And you know what, Scott? I was just saying this earlier, and I finally deeped this thought when someone asked. I think that is part of the reason why we're not going to see Enzo Fernandez in the team, in the Premier League starting team anytime soon. At least until we get much more solid center backs, I don't see Enzo Fernandez stepping foot in that team anytime soon until
I just think the league doesn't suit him.
Defense. That's very possible too.
Because in international football, slower pace, right? That's the best.
More open as well. I think that's part of it, and I think just not having the defensive side of your game be refined, and you already have a shaky keeper in Sanchez, Fofana, who is clumsy right now until he gets better defensively, Levi, who from time to time can make a mistake. Until that center back pairing really, really solidifies and they're not going to leak as many goals, you're going to have to defend them with the midfield like Olavi or Caicedo. So it just makes sense to not play Enzo. I'm taking this moment to now transition over to Veiga, very much with what Scott just said. Enzo did play more of a deep lying playmaker role today. And when you look at the stats, accurate passes, 106 out of 121 passes from Enzo Fernandez. Renato Veiga, his partner, 71 out of 76. So most of everything was coming through Enzo Fernandez because Veiga was the one that was running forward mostly. When you look at the heat map, it does. I mean, Enzo Fernandez also did play up a little bit, but when you look at the heat map, Renato was a little bit more spread out. I thought Veiga was okay today. I didn't think he was as bad, but Scott, I think you disagree with that. Right?
Yeah, I thought second half he got better. First half was awful, like terrible. Because the thing is like that was really bad. As I said, as a midfielder in this system, in the position he plays, there's certain things I expect. Right? It's the same as when we get to talking about someone else because the position. Oh,
that's next, baby. I'm excited.
I'm ready.
Oh, thank the Lord! Thank the Lord Jesus Christ. Dark, you better still not.
I don't think we're going to spend too much mind on Veiga.
There's for certain players in the team, for certain positions in this system, there's certain things I expect from you as a player to be able to do in this situation. In Veiga's position, as I said earlier, I expect you to be able to pick the ball up under pressure and be able to turn. Maybe not in the way Lavia does all the time, where it's on the half turn all the time. But be able to pick the ball up, hold a guy off, especially with your size, in that situation, hold the ball up and be able to progress the ball in a positive manner, by which I mean forward. Well, not necessarily forward, but you can pass it sideways with the intent it's going to someone in space who can drive forward. Veiga in the first half especially, every time he was put under pressure, he lost the ball, it looked like. Everything was backwards and sideways. And considering he's 6'3" or 6'4", he was so weak in terms of holding players off. Like the first goal literally comes from him not being strong enough to hold a guy off and losing the ball in midfield. And then we concede. So it's like, that's why I expect from you playing in that position. That's why I think for now he maybe is a centre-back rather than a midfield, even though he can play there. I think until he gets used to that, he's probably better as a centre-back. But yeah, that's what he wasn't doing. In the second half, it got a lot better, and I thought he was able to get in the ball a lot more and was able to do a bit more and be able to actually affect the game in a positive manner. But yeah, that first half especially, when he was actually on the ball, in space, I thought he was pretty decent. I thought his passing was actually pretty good once he was actually in space and able to do stuff with the ball. I thought it was decent, but yeah, it was just it's that first phase basically. It was just that first phase he sucked at so bad.
Yeah, I mean, does anyone else want to add to Veiga?
Oh, can I get to the main event, please?
Okay, yeah. I just real quick on Veiga. My thing with Veiga is I feel like he needs to have a certain. If he's gonna be in the midfield, he needs to have a certain profile of player next to him. Which is why I think
for now,
that's what I'm saying. Yeah, because again, he's
still really
young.
young.
He's pretty young. let's just say, for example, he looked decent in midfields with like a Lavio or a midfield with like a Caicedo type of player.
Yeah.
He was in a midfield with like Enzo and KDH. Like that's clipped. Like I think he was more a victim of the circumstances around him than necessarily his poor play. Although I don't think he unnecessarily also had a great game. But yeah.
What was the last game he was in midfield? I'm sorry. It was
I don't know.
It was Cassidy, KDH in
no. I mean in the Premier League. Was that the
Bournemouth, right?
It was Bournemouth, right?
It was either Bournemouth or after Bournemouth.
Because after that, there was that one game. I think it was the Bournemouth game where he did the same thing. He had a shaky first half, and in the second half, he did a lot better.
Yeah, it was Bournemouth.
I think for him, it's one of those like he's still young. I give him a little slack. He's gonna have games like this, and I'm hoping he'll become more consistent because we all know he's a good player. Like there is a good player in there. He's a really good, talented guy. But it could be something to do with the pairing. Go ahead, Prime.
I think he didn't have his best of games, but with Veiga, like CP knows this, I view him as a center back. So I view him as part of our defense. So like him playing in midfield, it's not surprising that he'll have bad game, and also considering the profiles that he was paired with. So I don't really blame him per se of what happens. I don't think he was anywhere near one of our worst players.
No, I don't think he was anywhere near, but he definitely didn't help. I mean, I think we should just get to it right now. I think we all know who we need to talk about. And
can I go first if that's okay? You can be the main event.
How about it, my friend?
Yeah, you know what? Hold on.
Let's not go last. Let's start the piece.
Okay, hold on. Let me just get this ready. Okay, CP, whenever you're... Here we go.
This fucking overrated piece of shit Robinho B-Tech piece of ass fucking shooting at first fucking sight from fucking 30 yards like a fucking dumbass at every point in time. What the fuck are you? You're like a fucking stormtrooper, my guy, in the fucking Star Wars films, shooting but always fucking missing somehow. How the fuck are you that dumb to shoot when there's fucking 3 to 6 people in front of your ass at every fucking point in time? And you know what? Is he a striker? No, he's a fucking 10. He's a fucking 10. He's supposed to create and playmate and dictate. But you know what he's fucking dictating? He's fucking dicking around is what he's fucking doing. With the ball of him. Fucking clown show this man is. Oh my god. Did you see how he touched the ball? To all you Joao fucking sexuals fucking touching yourselves, what are you doing? My god. And Jesus Christ does not press. What is he doing? The way he presses the ball is by fucking holding the other opponent's hand and fucking getting a foul every time. You absolute clown show. What is this? It's not Valentine's Day yet, my guy. It's not time to hold hands with the other dude, my guy. We're not at a wedding, my guy. What are we doing? This is a football game. It's not ring around the rosy we're doing, my guy. So what the fuck are you doing?
I have been saying this.
Every time he is getting the ball, he's never driving except for one fucking point. And when this dickhead finally got a clear chance of fucking one-on-one, he fucks that up too somehow. He had the slowest dumbass to Burn and fucking Dan Burn coming on, and then he beats him, but still fucks up the shot. How the fuck is that possible when you're spamming fucking balls at 30 yards out? You made fucking Mudryk look like fucking Neymar. How the fuck did you do that? I didn't even know that was possible. And he needs the system. He needs the fucking chances. He went from Benfica to Atletico. Oh my God, it's the system. He went to the most possession-based fucking side in the world you could ask for besides Man City with the Xavi-led Barcelona, you fucking clown. And then he had a little stint where you know what he would do, guys? He would fucking hit the woodwork at every fucking time. Like he's the one getting pegged. No, you know who's getting pegged? All the fucking people he fucking dates because he's fucking Christ, he's hitting the wood. The first year, he got unlucky, guys. He got unlucky every time he hit the fucking woodwork. What about the second stint then? What is he doing? Where did his brain cells go, or did he have fucking any?
I was telling this to Scott when I was watching with Lewis. I fucking wish one of these fucking Newcastle defenders did a Cucurella during the fucking Spurs, pulled his fucking hair down. Because if he's fucking lost brain cells, that fucking better fucking hair, he loses some fucking hair too. I hope he's a bald prick in the future. I fucking swear to God. My God, it just you know why he has so much hair? Because he has fucking low testosterone. Because he's a fucking cuck. Fucking cuck on the field, fucking cuck off the field. I'm so done with this clown show. We're gonna praise him for fucking his Barrow performance. What is fucking Barrow's in League 2? Oh my God, I'm so happy. He did amazing and scored fucking 2 goals and created shit against fucking Barrow or fucking Chelsea Football Club. My fucking academy players better do that shit during our prime. And we're praising this man for his fucking flicks. What are we doing here? At least Robinho has provided more to fucking world football than this fucking clown show. He's never scored more than 10 goals in the league.
Okay.
Except for Benfica. He's not scored more than 10 goals in any league besides Benfica and every club he's played at. He doesn't even get more than 10 assists. What does he do? Does he create space? No. Does he occupy space? No. What does he do? He's ball hogging as a 10.
Bro, he can't even protect his girl, man.
Again, he's ball hogging as a 10. You're the 10. If you were Nkunku, I would have less venom. We'll get on Nkunku later. That was a shit show too, but what the fuck are you doing? You're supposed to be our Palmer replacement in the squad, technically. Fuck me. Fuck me if he's a Palmer replacement. This selfish cunt.
Goddamn.
Well, this video got demonetized.
Yeah, man.
That's
I'm just, I there's a lot of stuff that was being.
Bro, that's why I threw this one. That's why I threw this one,
It's
bro.
okay.
A lot of stuff was said
It's
that.
okay.
A lot of stuff that I said that.
I just left. I let it go. I'm sorry, man.
No, you're good. I don't give a fuck. Go ahead, Ahmed.
I think there's a lot of stuff that I said that. I think for me in this game at the very least, I think the thing with Felix, I think there's 2 things in my personal opinion. Something that I think has been a very big problem with him in general has always been his shot power. Like, the amount of shot power in his, in his shot in general is it's not good enough. Like, you need to be generating a lot more power, particularly the shots you're trying to take first and foremost.
Isn't that what we said about Kai Havertz?
Yeah, that's a fair point, and I hear that too. I think for me, the other issue with him was that I don't know if it's an issue that because he's being greedy, or is it a thing of like the 10 he's playing is meant to be like a shadow striker in the sense that he's meant to be, kind of like he's like essentially like a second striker for the team, if that makes sense, right? And that's why he wasn't necessarily there to help to create for Nkunku, if that makes sense. Because like that's what it felt like to me. At the very least, I don't know about you guys. Maybe you guys were thinking that you expect him to pass more, but I actually just felt continuously.
Are you saying specifically in this game or in general?
Just this game, because in this game,
Okay.
You see, all he was trying to do was get into space, dominate the space, and then look to make the shot essentially.
But and this is something that I criticized Joao Felix on since the get-go. And people ragged on me and said whatever they said. But Curry Pirates said it as well. It's the off-the-ball stuff. It's the lack of pressing. It's the lack of presence to show up for the ball. It's the lack of just, you want it all done for you and you want to have the glory. This is why we see that personality in the way he goes forward with the ball as well. He's dribbling, not looking for the pass. He wants the goal. He wants the glory. And it's just like, bro, this is a team sport. Like, maybe that's why Simeone benched you for so long. Maybe that's why you don't break into the Portugal team as often as you want. Maybe that's why you're in the B team. It's like,
here's the thing, I don't mind that though. But
I do mind that when because I mind it, especially Prime. I mind it especially when I'm seeing Nkunku drop down more than you, and he's supposed to be the striker.
But my thing is, right, if that's the sort of player that you are, fine. But that means when the glory moment comes, you have to take it. That chance he had, that he put wide, that's the glory moment.
Jackson puts it away.
And that's
No,
my
or
point.
dude, or the chance where he was on the keeper and he just like hit it wide. Is that what you're talking
Yeah.
about?
Yes,
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
my
yeah,
That
point.
one.
If
That
you're
was-
not the sort of guy that works hard and whatever you want everything delivered to you, that's fine. But when it's delivered to you, you have to finish,
Mhm.
and he's not doing that.
Yeah, because I remember even in that first season that he played for us when he was on loan, he would drive the ball up the field. He would dribble. Like, he did more. But this game, like, bro, my guy was absent. And when he did have the ball, he did fuck all with it. It was absolutely just like, obviously he had his good moments against Ghent and Boro and Panathinaikos.
He was shit
But
against
bro, now we're up against a Premier League side, and you've proven why you're not in the Premier League squad, and you're not
Yeah.
going to be. Like, it's just like, I was so disappointed. But even I think you said this guy. I didn't really hear you too well. But like, even against Panathinaikos, I wasn't that impressed with his performance.
He was shit. No, he was shit. He stat padded.
Yeah, exactly. He's that bad. He did the same thing that he was doing today. He just wasn't showing up. And when he did, he managed to get a goal or two. Yeah.
This guy is a piece of shit underwear model.
Oh my
Like this guy, this guy is Mount incarnate. He is a piece of shit.
No,
This
don't
guy
disrespect Mount
plays-
that much.
No, he is a piece of shit. This guy
It's
plays
like,
like Scott McTominay. This guy
No, no,
plays
it's
like
like Andrew said, bro. It's like he plays to like get clips and shit, bro. Like
No,
the
it's
way
not
he
even
plays,
that.
like he wants to be like.
No, do you know why? I disagree. He doesn't do that, because if that was the case, I've never seen someone so selfish when he's on the ball, but so less interested in the ball when he's off the ball.
That's so crazy.
That's
But it's true.
And it's not. I'm not just talking like off the ball in terms of defending. I'm talking every fucking time, every goddamn time someone picked up the ball in the attack, Felix was going the other way to where the ball was.
Mm-hmm.
Dewsbury-Hall, I remember this so vividly. Dewsbury-Hall picked up the ball in the first half at one point on the wing. The closest player was Felix. So he ran away from him into the box. Like, my guy, the fuck is he going to do? Even if he crosses it, you're not winning it. If he plays it to you on the ball, there's 5 man in. The fuck are you going? And so what happened? The ball went backwards because that was the next closest person to the ball. This guy is shit. And I go back to what I said earlier about Veiga in the 6. And this is who I was talking about.
How?
There are certain things I expect from you. Number one is to drop deep and pick the ball up in areas that's going to help the team. Because I see Nkunku do that. I see Palmer do that. Hell, I see Jackson do that. He didn't do that once. In fact, he did it once, and it was the start of the match where he drove and shot at the keeper again, or it got blocked, or whatever. He doesn't do that. He doesn't link up play. He has the creativity of my nan. He does not do anything on the ball in terms of passing. Not again. What I expect from you is an ability of knowing where to be, positioning. None of that. Absolutely none of that. He played today like he played off the last shoulder, running behind striker. If that's what you want to be, calm. But I care about you on the ball. So if that's all you want to be, what's the point of you as a player? He's a piece of shit. And he needs to leave. Like, he sucks. He's ass. He hasn't had a good game since he's been here outside of Barrow. We smashed them 6-2 and they were bottom of the league until this last weekend.
Yeah.
He's sucked every game he played. He has played more minutes this season than Jadon Sancho. He's played more minutes this season than Romeo Lavia. He is sucked. He has the IQ of a toddler. He has negative football IQ. He makes Mudryk look like a combination of Einstein and Pirlo.
I told you.
Wow.
Yep. Speak on it.
Didn't make
Crazy.
Mudryk look good today. Yeah.
Not even like
Scott,
you look at what Mudryk has done in terms of Prime, just before you go. You look at what Mudryk has done in terms of like improvement and what he's trying to do, and you can see learning is slow because you can tell that
He's slow. Yeah.
he is slow. I was going to say that, and then pause.
Yeah,
He
I was
is
like,
slow.
no, I knew you were gonna say it. I'll say it for you. I'll say it for you. I'll say it for
Not
you.
in terms of like, not like that, but like you can tell.
no, like-
again.
No. You're like, no.
Double
Football,
demonetized.
football IQ wise, not football IQ wise.
Yeah, like you can tell he doesn't learn things as quickly as everyone else, so it takes more time. But you can tell he's
Yes.
learning. With Felix, what is there? Because he has played for 4 of the biggest clubs in world football. He's played for arguably the biggest club in Portugal. He's played for two of the three biggest clubs in Spain, and he's played for one of the biggest clubs in England. And he looks like he has learned nothing. In fact, he looks like he's regressed.
Is he overrated, Scott?
Yes.
Yes.
Fuck him.
Yes, he's overrated. He's overrated.
I'd sell him in January. I'd sell him in January if I had the option.
The issue is like, bro, like all this looks so much worse in retrospect, right? Because it's like we got Felix and we didn't get Almeridion, bro. Like,
I was about to say that.
Like,
fuck.
We have to say that.
Don't make me crash out.
Yeah.
Don't make me crash out.
When you look at it in
I'm
hindsight,
gonna be honest,
fuck.
bro, like,
We got the
so
worst
honest.
end of the deal.
No, because you know what it is. You know what makes it even worse, bro? Is like if we got Almeridion, that means Nkunku would be playing in the 10.
RSM, don't worry, I will speak.
Yeah,
on that.
exactly, Marshall. I deep that like.
Yeah,
No, it's bad.
about it.
It's
Think about it, I know.
You know it is. You know it is. Though you know it is. Boys.
Let me speak on that because
Go ahead, Prime and then I
remember when we were linked to Samu,
Yes.
right? And Chelsea fans were against him, and I did.
No, they were crashing out on him, bro. Chelsea fans.
Hold on,
are
hold on. I did some research on him. I read scout reports. I looked at like Atletico Madrid fans on Twitter and stuff, and look what they thought of him. And the fact that Simeone rated him highly, it had a big price tag on his head. I watched him unknown last season. He wasn't really getting many chances because he was playing for one of the worst sides in La Liga.
Was it Alaves?
His all-round game was raw, but he's a instinctive goal scorer. Something that last season we criticized Jackson for not being. He was a physical, dominant presence goal scorer. And as much as I wanted Osimhen, I looked at it as if we get Samu, I don't mind it. I'm cool with it as a backup. Chelsea fan. I said this on Lewis's channel, by the way. I said this on Lewis's channel, by the way, that I don't mind it. It's not my preference, but I don't mind that. People were telling me, no, you only rate him because he's Nigerian.
No. You don't understand, bro. I was on that stream. Prime was getting cooked for saying he wouldn't mind Sammy.
I would.
He was actually getting chefed for it, bro.
And I was like, guys, he's actually like, I'm not saying he's amazing or he's my choice. As a backup to Jackson as an option, he's good. I don't mind him.
Yeah,
People were trying to pride, me for it. Lo and behold, we have Felix. Football is saved, guys. He's so amazing, guys. He's so silky, guys. Listen, Scott said he is like Scott McTominay. I disagree. Joao Felix.
Scott McTominay had output, bro. He's just a luxury player with no output.
When Ahmed was saying he's not. He's Kai Havertz. When Ahmed was saying that Felix doesn't strike a ball properly, isn't that what we said for 3 years with Kai Havertz, that he doesn't strike a ball properly?
I think Felix does. I think Felix does strike the ball properly. The problem is he doesn't know what like.
Hold on. When we were talking about Felix not really putting in the work and not putting in the hard yards, Havertz, he was criticized for doing that at Chelsea as well. This silky or sexy footballer tag that people have, yet you don't actually do anything with it. What's the point? What's the point of being sexy if you got a dead personality? Really, let's be real. What's the point? What's the point?
I think with Felix, there's like, I think he's the worst version of so many different footballers. Like he's got so many bad, like, footballers. Like for me, there's
so many bad footballers.
Okay. Yeah, like for example, when I talk about the Scott McTominay thing, that's only because I watch a lot of like Rants and Saeed and Aaron and whatnot. And when they talk about Scott McTominay, they kept saying the same thing of like whenever they had the ball, he always hide and never want the ball. And that's the same thing with Felix. He never wants the ball, never hide. Like he always hides unless he's in a position where he can maybe score. And the thing is, I disagree with Ahmed. I think he's got good ball striking. What I think he doesn't have is like he'll pick the ball up in an area, he'll get to a position where he should shoot, doesn't go to a position where he shouldn't shoot, and then shoots. That's the issue. Not his ball striking is good. The problem becomes is like it doesn't matter how good your ball striking is if you're shooting with 12 men in front of you. I know that's an exaggeration, but whatever. Yeah. That's the problem. Like that's the problem. Is like his decision making is arse. His pressing is like the worst bit isn't even the fact that he doesn't want to press. The worst bit comes when he tries to press. It's some of the worst pressing I've ever seen because it's so half-assed. Like there was a moment where I think a couple moments where the Newcastle centre backs picked up the ball today, and he kind of went to press them, did it really slowly, didn't really like do it properly, and because of that, they played a ball straight into our midfield and started an attack. It's like, just like you don't even have to press them; just block the passing lane, because that's what Palmer does. Like Palmer doesn't really press that much, but he'll block passing lanes.
Oh, but when you see Cole Palmer play off the ball and on the ball versus Joao Felix, it's night and day.
Oh, yeah, 100%. I'm just saying, like,
night and
on
day.
the non-pressing thing, it's like you could not. I don't care. Like, I care if you press, but it's like you cannot fully press and still affect the way. As I said, like force them into a corner, cut off passing lanes. He didn't even do that. Like he just allowed them to play into midfield.
But that's another thing too that I was like criticized for saying is that I see Joao Felix more as a striker than I do as a 10.
He is. No, he is. Like if we just swapped him
100%,
today, him and Nkunku, that would be like grand. Like,
that's kind of what I wanted at one point. I was just
he's
please
an
swap him.
awful player. He's a.
I at one point in the game, I wanted either. Well, I think this is how bad it was. I wanted Felix off and put in Gui and bring in Nkunku as a 10.
Yeah,
or at least bring on Palmer and having Nkunku stay at number 10, in the striker position. Because I just wanted Joao Felix off the pitch. But we only made one sub today, and we do need to talk about that soon. But like, I mean,
we'll get to the Maresca section, bro.
Go ahead, because I don't want to skip Ahmed. Obviously, Ahmed, you wanted to have your say on Joao Felix.
I don't think he was that bad, honestly. Today.
Oh, fuck you.
You know.
All right, we can move on to the rest of the team. Okay,
I can't lie, that came from cold as well.
You know what? You know what? You know what I mean?
Ahmed, you know what? Ahmed, as a fellow brother, I want to hear what you have.
As a fellow brother.
Don't let them do you like this, brother. Don't let them do you like this.
Now he's your brother. Now he's your brother.
Ahmed, before you start, are you being serious or are you trolling?
Because like I feel like there's another guy today.
I feel like you're just looking at his fucking
like,
FIFA card and saying, "Not that bad."
I know who you're gonna get onto, and I agree with you. But just focusing solely on Felix, are you being serious or are you taking a piss?
Oh, I'm not even like trying. I don't think the issue for me was that the thing that let him down today was his scoring, right? And I agree with that. I don't think he was. But like, I think for me, there was like a bigger problem because it's like, yes, maybe today he wasn't everything that you're saying, but there's another
we can
guy.
use this as a transition into the next guy. Go ahead.
Yeah, but I'm saying like the other guy, like he did stuff that was arguably wars against humanity. What he did, like
who are we talking about?
Nkunku.
I don't know. Yeah, he's
Nkunku.
Bro,
no,
someone
really.
I'll be real. Ahmed's right. He sucked as well today. Like he was not as bad as Felix.
Yep.
It was not
bro.
I ain't gonna lie. They had a fat mid off today. I ain't gonna lie.
Oh no, they did.
That shit was. One of them was ass, and the other was cheeks, bro. You can decide which one. But they were bad, bro.
Can someone explain to me how, for 2 games in a row, you man can look like you've never even spoken, let alone played a game of football together? Like you man are strangers. You could have taken 2 guys off the streets who'd never spoken a word. You could have taken a French guy and a German guy who'd never spoken a word of English to each other, asked them to speak English with each other, and they would have communicated better than those 2 today.
But I thought there were times where I was like KD8 or KD. Who was it? No, it was Disasi. I was like, Disasi, give the ball to Nkunku, and then he gives him a criminal pass, and then it comes back to Disasi, and Disasi boots it off to a.
But Mudryk was
kick.
giving the passes to Nkunku so many times, and this guy fucking can't control a ball.
Bro, it was
in the box, and there was he had barely any pressure behind him. There was a box from Mudryk perfectly into Nkunku, fucking fluffs that up.
But he was forcing fouls. Like the first 20 minutes of the game, he was forcing fouls on him and everything.
I rate Nkunku more than he was forcing fouls, bro. Come on,
bro. Nkunku today, bro. I felt like he was very.
I want to hear this actually. Like what Ahmed was
genuinely, Nkunku, like today was at the time, bro. There were so many passes that were brought to him, and then his touch would send it to another universe, bro. Like genuinely speaking, bro. Like all he had to do was touch, shoot. And he had
another universe. It's crazy.
And honestly, bro, it was ridiculous. It was ridiculous, bro. And like the thing is, we talk a lot about nonchalant gimmicks, And Nkunku has a nonchalant gimmick. I swear to God, bro, when he does that thing.
What are you talking about, Ahmed? I'm looking at the stats. He has 1 shot off target. 1 big chance miss.
Nah,
No,
like
no,
Marshall though, we can use our eyes though, bro.
No,
Like
stop, bro.
he-
I test.
I feel like he wasn't a part of the game. He was
That
isolated out of the game.
merchant, bro. My eyes don't lie, bro. It was a bad
you
game.
need to
Yeah,
be
we
Marshall.
all-
Marshall, what basically happens is, and it was happening a lot of the time game, they would find him, or they'd actually find him the final ball, but before he could even shoot, he has to take a touch, right? His touch was going out of bounds, Marshall.
Bro,
That was the problem.
that one, by the way, sorry, I need to bring it up. People know what I'm talking about. That one where he gets the ball from Mudryk, he tries to
That's
take a
what I'm talking
touch. He tries to take a touch and kicks it backwards. Like he just kicks it out the box.
Yeah, that was bad. Yeah, that was bad. That was,
Bro, wait,
100%. I expected better from him. Yeah.
You know what else is bad though? That one opportunity, he was dead in front of goal, and he decided to do what Nico Jackson did last season, where we cooked him, where he just took an extra touch for no reason. He should just hit it first time, and it got blocked because he
But-
took that extra touch.
Can I give my perspective on this so you can kind of understand where I'm coming from? Like I'll because I'm going to be reasonable about Nkunku. In recent games, I feel like I like him less and less as a striker because I think he's been living off of the fact that he gets a goal a game, and whether it be a penalty or the one chance and he actually puts it away, good. But then you look at the rest of his game, unlike a Nicholas Jackson, very uninvolved. And today, I think that was definitely highlighted that he was very uninvolved. But normally when he's very uninvolved, he's given chances and he misses, or he just, defending wise. Today, I felt like defensively, Newcastle had his number and he just got blocked constantly, or he did have the occasional bad touch. I don't know if today I can blame his performance so much on just him or the fact that Joao Felix just didn't want to give him the ball when he had a good run going or something.
You know why I
both,
disagree?
bro. I told you it was both.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's both. But you know why I disagree? Especially on the number 9 thing, and I keep having to say this to people. What we are asking him to do, especially in this game as a number 9, is not your target man, stupid shit that Potter was doing last season with him, where we're hoofing balls up to him, asking him to hold the ball Giroud style with centre backs, behind him and that. If he was doing that or happened to be asked to do that, I'd understand the argument. Him and Jackson are asked to play the same way. They are asked to drop deep sometimes to collect the ball, link up play when need be. They are asked to, be able to shoot, have a first touch. Like the things that we are asking him to do is not complicated. It's not stuff that he is unable to do. He's played as a number 9 before, as a false 9, kind of whatever you want to say, and has been able to do it. Like, and also him not being a number 9, quote unquote, doesn't mean that he can't have the first touch. It doesn't mean that he can't link up play, which he was actually doing kind of okay, especially in the end of the first half, start of the second half. But his decision making, and this is the biggest thing with Nkunku, he is meant to be, when it comes to experience, clinicality, if that's even a word, everything meant to be better than Jackson.
Yes.
In terms of link up play, everything, because he's just a better player, meant to be. Nothing about his game today told me he's better than Jackson. Not a single.
Funny, bro.
Yeah, 100%.
He does the same. He does
And
the
that
same.
sucks because I had high expectations. Yeah.
He does the same things in terms of taking too many touches at times. He does the same things in terms of pausing before he shoots. He does the same thing in terms of, we were through on goal at one point. The ball comes to Nkunku. We were, I think, if he'd have made a pass, we would have been 3-on-1, I think. He turns backwards and passes backwards for no reason. So that's you as a 10, by the way, because there were people ahead of him and he still didn't do that. Yeah. So that's not, he's not a 9. That's him being in a moment where he needs to be a 10. He needs to pass forward, create something, and he went backwards and killed an attack. That's nothing to do with him being a 9. And that's what's pissing me off. You can say he's not a winger, cool, he's not. You can say he's not a striker, cool, he's not. And I'd understand those arguments if we're asking him or expecting him to beat a man 1v1 when he's on a wing. Or as I said earlier, hold up the ball against 2 centre-backs, because he can't do that really. I know he scored the goal against Bournemouth doing that, but he can't really do that. We're asking him to do things that he should be able to do, that he'd have to do if he was a 10 as well, by the way.
Yes.
We're doing things he'd have to do if he was a 10 as well, and he isn't doing them. He has been crap this season. He has spent most of this season stat padding. I think he had a good game against someone, I can't remember off the top of my head. He was good against Bournemouth when he came on. And
He had a
good
hat-trick against Borough, I think, right?
Yeah.
Barrow, I don't count. Like, anyone that played well, I don't count. It's Barrow.
Okay.
He was good in another game. I think it was the Conference League. I can't remember which one off the top of my head. But it's like, he is not good enough. And ultimately, like, the thing is, as
Bournemouth
well,
when he came out as a sub. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the one I
This.
said. There was another one in the conference. I can't remember
yeah.
which one. But the
Yeah,
ultimate thing as
sorry,
well with
go ahead.
Nkunku as well, that I see people talk about he needs to play in his correct position. He's never going to.
Yes.
Because even if he plays as a 10, the only time he's ever going to play as a 10 is in the Conference League or in the Cup. We are now out of one of the Cups. So he is either going to play as a 10 in the FA Cup or the Conference League. So ultimately in the league, he was never going to play in his position for more than maybe 30 minutes. And that's only if Palmer needs a rest. Or we're doing so shit that we need to play both of them at the same time. So, like, that's it for me. Like,
And I said, and not only that, that's why I said it looks even worse in retrospect, like the Felix shit, because like Felix literally just took his 10 spot pretty much.
Yeah.
And to be honest, what was the difference between him and what Mark Guiu could offer? Because whenever Mark Guiu's come, he presses at least, he creates chances. It's just he's been fumbling them, and that's kind of what Nkunku was doing today with his first touches. I would have if you showed me Mark Guiu in preseason and Nkunku, they're offering me almost the same thing, except I get better pressing from Mark Guiu.
But all right, but like, come on, let's also be honest. Like today, if I had to put my money on someone to get a goal today, my money would have gone on Nkunku. Because in recent games, he happens to score a goal.
are you talking about those that started?
Of those that started, yes.
Yes, but that's because I would agree with you and then argue that's because of look who else he's playing with. He's playing with a right winger who's not a right winger. He's playing with Felix who sucks, and he's playing with
we
Mudryk.
should talk about that too.
Right winger that's
not a right
like,
winger because
he's playing with Mudryk, who has, like, I think outside of that goal against Panathinaikos, I don't remember the last goal he scored. He's playing against Felix, who has 3 goals all season. 2 of them were against Panathinaikos, and the last one before that was against Wolves.
Mm-hmm.
And then Dewsbury-Hall. So yes, of course, of those front 4, he's going to be the first one to score. But if he was playing with, okay, let's say we started this game with Madueke on the right wing, Neto on the left wing, and let's just say he started in the 10 with Jackson up front. He's third on my list of people I expect to score out of that 4.
Really?
Yes. The only person he's ahead of is Neto. And I'll be real, part of me even thinks the only way he scores is if we get a pen.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of Nkunku. You guys know that.
Yeah.
And this is why, you know, when I say that, I think, listen, Joao Felix, yes, he wasn't that good. But, like, what he did today, bro, was essentially worse because his job was to put the ball to the back of the net and he couldn't even have his first touch prepared to do the job. That's what this came down to. It happened. And the thing is, it happened just multiple times. Like it's not even like okay, it's a one-time thing. It happened like quite a few times in the second half and the first half. There was a time in the first half here where he decided to do some scorpion style touch.
9 times.
Yeah, he told Madueke send it in, and then Madueke sent it in for him, and then he hits a scorpion touch pass, and it's like, and then he goes out for like a goal kick, and it's like, brother, what are you doing? What on?
No, that wasn't even the scorpion touch, bro. I literally said, bro, I'm like, what is Nkunku doing there? You know, girls, when they take instant selfies, bro, and they turn to the side and they throw a little leg up and they do that, bro, that's what Nkunku was doing. I'm like, what was that? What was that, bro? What was that?
The last thing I'll kind of say,
bro, he was posed up like an insta-baddie in the box.
That's why, by the way, I was talking about a nonchalant gimmick. Because that's like nonchalant.
The last thing I'll quickly, the last thing I'll say, Sonny, I'll say about
we have City girl centre back. Shout out Daniel for that one. We've got an attacking midfielder, that can't control his woman, and we have a striker that likes to throw ash.
On Nkunku as well. Like the reason why I give so much vim to him as well is like I'm saying, I just expect so much more. I don't give as much vim. Like say Mudryk had the performance that he had today. I don't.
He's supposed to be our best player.
Yeah, I don't care as much
Up
because
there with
Mudryk,
Palmer,
I think Mudryk is shit anyway, and he's going to leave eventually, right? Like, and it's this like even though I have so much vim for Felix, it's just because of how bad he was and how much he pissed me off. But if I think like he just sucks, like I shouldn't have as much vim. He just sucks as a player. That's why I don't really have. I know we're going to speak about it, but I don't really have any vim for Dewsbury-Hall today. I don't rate him that highly anyway, and he's that position. Like with Nkunku, I rate him highly as a player, and I think he's good. So when I'm seeing the level of shit that he has put out this season, it pisses me off. And it's like, I know you're so much better. And it's the same with Gusto. Right now, at the moment, I have so much vim for those 2 players because I know they're so much better. 100%. I don't have vim for players I don't rate. That's why you don't see me come on streams and shit on Disasi all the time. It's just like, at best, I think he's a good player. at best. So it's like, why am I going to get pissed when he's shit? When that's what
Nice.
he's kind of given us for a lot of like this season.
Well, I mean, let's.
Yeah,
you
but
brought it
shit,
up.
you know where shit is part of the fun. Why?
No, it's
Well-
sometimes. It is sometimes, but like after a while, I think it's boring.
That's another one I kind of want to touch on because listen, I'm not going to rag on him today because he was playing out of position, but even in his position, I don't even know if he's providing me more than what. I hate to say it. I don't know. This is why I'm saying it. I don't know. Let's see at the end of the season, right? But I don't even know if at Cam, Keenan Dewsbury-Hall is providing more than Gallagher at this point.
No, he's not. No, Marshall. Listen, Marshall. It's time to have this conversation.
Marshall.
I already
That's
said
why you're working the
FFP signing,
demon.
FFP
You're
signing.
working
Oh, hold
the
on.
demon.
Wait. Can I just say one last thing on the Nkunku thing? I'm gonna
Go
start saying this more and more. Everybody's better than Jackson till it's time to be better than Jackson. That's all I'm gonna say, bro. And I'm gonna leave it at that. I'm gonna leave it at that.
Wise words.
Also,
It's an apple to that.
piggyback on that RSM. To piggyback on that RSM. Listen, Jackson, we're the second best striker in the league right now.
That's what I'm saying, bro. When it's
true.
time to be better than Jackson, who's better than Jackson?
Hey.
Alright, so listen, I'm ready to
Oh,
have this
no,
conversation.
Marshall.
I'm ready to have
Well,
this
let Ahmed
conversation.
go. Let Ahmed go. Then go.
Yes,
Prem.
I'm ready to have this conversation on Kieran Dewsbury-Hall. You know, one of the main, I think, selling points in regards to Kieran Dewsbury-Hall, I'm pretty sure many of us here agree with, or many of us agree we heard of, was the idea that Kieran Dewsbury-Hall was a lot more of a complete version than Gallagher. A lot more technically astute, can do all the other stuff that Gallagher cannot do. And since he's come to this football squad, he has before we even get to his skill set, he hasn't even caught up to the level, in my personal opinion, of the league itself. Like you can clearly see, there's like a gap between the average EPL player that's playing the game and himself. Like you can, and that for me is a red flag, or that was a red flag automatically. And then
But
you
that's
see
weird
the way,
though because he has Premier League experience.
exactly, and then. You look at the way he holds the ball, the way he touches the ball, stuff like that, and it's like this guy and Gallagher. There's not really that much of a difference than the way they're technically the same because like he's doing the same stuff that you see Gallagher do, slipping on the ball all the time, taking a heavy touch, and then passing it back, not able to turn effectively. Like those are the stuff, you know what I mean? Those are the stuff that you see Gallagher do. And like
I ain't gonna lie. He was looking like there's a guy on the Ecuador national team. We call him El Patinador, the ice skater. KDH was slipping and sliding, bro.
And like for me, it just becomes a question of like, what was the point of signing Gallagher for him? Like you might as well just get Gallagher.
And that's
We
why it
might
gets even
as
worse.
Gallagher-
We sold Gallagher for
Yes.
Felix. I was saying, every
Yes.
time you look at the
And
Felix
Gallagher
signing,
for
it
me,
gets
right
worse
mid
and
Gallagher
worse, bro.
would at least provide me some PMP. You know what I mean?
They could have got Duran.
No, you guys. Okay. Listen, stop this.
Give it to my guy Gallagher then, you know what I mean?
Ahmed,
Give it to Gallagher Nation.
Dude, this Felix transfer is looking really bad.
Ahmed,
That's what I'm
Ahmed,
saying, bro.
Fuck
New
him.
information, the way I
Ahmed.
look at it changes, bro.
Ahmed, Aki, brother. I expect Marshall to feel the way he feels about Gallagher because he doesn't rate Jackson. But brother, let's not do this, bro. Come on.
Little Cho, come on,
Slander
fam, Little Cho.
I wasn't slandering you, Marshall. I was speaking the truth. Anyway,
No,
Ahmed,
I
let's
rate
not-
Jackson, but okay.
You don't have Little
Okay,
Cho, cheeky
okay,
Cho, but let me
okay,
cheeky Cho.
yeah, I heard what you said. That's fine, Ahmed.
He was
Let's
touchy.
not talk. Let's not compare squad player Dewsbury-Hall to week in week out starter Conor Gallagher. Let's not do this, please.
I'm
Please,
told him,
no,
I'm sorry.
But like he plays every week.
I'm not finished.
No, he doesn't.
Hall is a lot
KDH
more.
plays every week. There's a cup competition
I'm
every
not-
week.
I'm not finished. Dewsbury Hall is a better player than Gallagher. It's a lot more technically secure than Conor Gallagher. And also the point that Scott was making about Veiga and who he was playing with in midfield. Why doesn't those same points get made with Dewsbury Hall? When the guy is playing in midfield with profiles that aren't that good, Enzo, or the guy shunted out on the right wing, and people are slating him for not putting 10 out of 10 masterclasses. It's not his fault. Why we lost today is not Dewsbury Hall. Dewsbury Hall was actually, I would say, from decent to good today. I don't think he was actually bad considering he was playing on the right wing to accommodate for Nkunku and Felix, who did nothing. I don't think it's Dewsbury-Hall's fault. To have Venom for Dewsbury-Hall is a bit crazy. To say that we should swap him, you guys know what Conor Gallagher is doing at Atletico Madrid right now. He's stinking out in Europe, dropping disaster classes. That's the guy we should bring back.
Nah, I'm not saying we should have brought him back. I'm just saying like the swap for Felix. My thing is just like with KDH is like I like we paid so much for him too, like for what he's providing us. I'm not gonna lie. It's looking to me like we did Leicester. I was saying a little FFP little thing. You know, we're gonna take Maresca, but you know we'll buy KDH. You know, give you a little FFP help. You know, you coming up to the Prem type B. You know what I'm saying, bro, because bro, I'm be so real like.
But yeah, but we played a lot for a squad player.
But he's not even like at the level of the squad player, bro. I'm be real with you, bro. People were talking about him like, yo, he was the best player in the championship, and that's what he won, right? He got best player, and like, bro, I'm not seeing it.
Bro, RSM, he's not playing the same role he was playing last season.
But I get that to an extent, but like when you're playing against teams like Servette and Ghent, like I expect you to be a little better. Yeah, he was good, but like you know, for example, Scott, we're gonna talk about him eventually, right? Like we see Mudryk's performances, and like out and out, he's looking like one of the best players on the pitch, like against those teams. And it's like, I know, but like what. When I'm looking at the midfield role, right, that he's been playing, or even in the double pivot, like I expect him to key together a few more passes, thread some balls through, which he has done. Like that's one thing I've seen from him that I feel like that does get overlooked. That from time to time he will give you that through ball pass into the attack that no one's there to get it, or it just gets outpaced the defender. Like I see the creativity from time to time, but it's just I don't see it enough.
But hold on, Scott. He's playing in a role that he wasn't last season. He was the more attack-minded midfielder out of the eights. He was more the creative midfielder. This season, I didn't want to say Palmer because people will get triggered, but yes, this season though, he has to be a lot more disciplined. He has to play the individual role and be more disciplined and balanced for the team. Maresca speaks so much. Maresca a few weeks ago was talking about how Jackson and Nkunku can't play in the same team together because of balance in the midfield or something. Like Maresca is all about balance, the right defensive balance. So what do you want Nkunku and Dewsbury-Hall to be playing as like attack-minded 10s, and we just leave 10s alone in the field and we get overrun and we lose? Then you'll be criticizing why is he being a lot more attack-minded. I don't have a problem with how Dewsbury-Hall is playing as a squad player. I think he's fine. I personally want him to start in our 18. I want him to get more minutes in our 18 because I think he's better and he will offer a lot more than Enzo does currently.
Wait. Sorry. Can I add to this? There's some points I disagree with. So first of all, he shouldn't be in our 18 because our 18 right now is Lavia and Caicedo. So Enzo's in the B team.
No. I mean like the like on the bench. I don't mean starting.
Okay. Anyways, for Dewsbury-Hall, with regards to today's game, I'm actually on Prime side. I've literally looked at the stats. So he had 25 touches. He had only 12. He had 13 passes. 12 were successful. 1 cross was successful out of 3. He had 2 take-on dribbles. He won 4 out of 4 ground duels, and he lost possession only 3 times. So it's not like he was losing the ball willy-nilly like Joao Felix or anything, or so on and so forth. He barely was receiving the ball on the right, which makes sense because he's a center mid / center attacking mid, like an attacking eight playing on the wing. And also on the same time, he didn't have an overlapping fallback like Mudryk did with Cucurella, who would help him out attacking wise, right? So I kind of get it. Today, he wasn't the worst out of our midfield. I would say he was the best. Almost.
He wasn't even playing in midfield.
He was better than Enzo Fernandez. Looking at this shit, he was better than Joao Felix. Better than this shit. I would say maybe him and Veiga, I guess, but he was doing his job at an okay rate for what he can do at the right wing position. Because he lost the ball only 3 times. He won all the ground duels he could win. He got all the dribbles he could get, and he succeeded at 12 out of 13 passes in 57 minutes. I can't fault the guy for today. Everyone else in the midfield was way more of a shit show. You had Enzo losing it 23 times. You had Joao Felix not passing the ball as a 10.
Bro.
But I mean, you're looking at the midfield, and I get what you're saying. But this is why I go back to like, if we're having a midfielder play as a right wing, but he's doing a midfielder role as like a right mid, it's just, I don't get where the strategy is coming from. Then why are we approaching this team with 5 midfielders?
He wasn't playing a midfielder. He was playing on the wing, and for a midfielder,
but then as a winger, then like I
thought he had a good job.
I think he did okay. I like, again, I'm not blaming him for today's loss, but he's definitely, I don't think he helped.
But he was the better of the midfielders. That's what I'm saying. And everyone was shit.
But like, he played better on the pitch than Enzo Fernandez and Nkunku playing out of position. He did better than Disasi.
Okay, but my thing is, even in the games where he has played in the position in the midfield, I've been underwhelmed by like.
He has been very underwhelming.
What do you want from him?
Like, for example, okay, I like
more present in the game.
Yeah, like I need him to be more present. For example, like, oh, this, like, we were taught, like, this is the guy who understands Maresca's system, right? This is the person who is going to be able to, you know, help the team learn the system, especially the B team, etc., etc. Yeah, when I'm watching the game, like Marshall said, I expect him to have more touches of the ball, to be more orchestrating play, to just be passing more, just be more present in the game. Yet he hasn't really done that. And then in front of goal, people were telling me like, oh, he's also a good shot in front of goal. Where is that?
Is that his job role? Is that his job role?
I'm not saying that's his job role, but I'm just saying, like, there's a ton of positives that I was sold on, right? That I'm not seeing.
I know, but is that his job?
I said even when he's in his job, to be in the midfield, to be part of Maresca's system, to teach everybody else how to recycle possession, how to move the ball around, how to progress the play, he's not doing it.
I think he's doing his job.
Bro, I'm telling you, he's not, bro. My eyes are telling me he's not doing it, bro. I'm telling you.
Like, even in his job role, is he okay? Hold on, Prime. Let's walk through this then. Even in his job role, right? His job role 6 or an 8, right? How often is he dispossessing the opposition? Not often enough for me to be like, wow, he's fucking bossing the midfield.
Okay.
When it comes,
sorry, my bad. Continue.
No, you're fine. When it comes to passing the ball, progressive balls. How often is he doing that in the midfield? Not often enough for me to say, wow, he's really controlling the pace of the game. When it comes to dribbling through the midfielders or dribbling through the opposition, how often is he doing it? Not often enough for me to say, like, wow, he's untouchable on the pitch. Like,
but you know, one sec. So I'll give an example. I just checked the Greek team we played, both Enzo and him, right? They had the same amount of passes. They had the same amount of key passes, and he lost the ball the same amount as Enzo Fernandez, and they were playing side by side with each other. So if you're telling me you're going after Dewsbury-Hall for not good performances, Enzo has been performing on par with him every time he's been playing. One's worth 100 and something with World Cup and Copa America and blah blah blah. The other guy's the best player in the championship. Why are we having these skewed metrics then? They've both been as shit. So then I should have more vem for Enzo Fernandez. Why are we putting KDH that he hasn't impressed us as much when we're putting KDH expectations on that?
Bro, but I'm not even, bro. Dude, I'm not even putting. This is my whole point. I'm not even putting him at these expectations. Marshall, he has to dribble, he has to pass, whatever you want to say. Marshall has the expectations at. I'm not even saying that, and I do have more vim for Enzo. Like, I do have more vim for Enzo. But what I'm saying is, like, I'm not going to come out here and say I think KDH had a good game. He did not, bro. He was absent. He was ghost. And even in the games where, like I said, given the fact that he was playing out of position, I recognize that. But even in the games where he is playing in position. That's what I'm saying. I don't see it. I don't see it. I don't see enough. I don't think he's. I don't think it's as bad as Enzo.
Just so you guys get where I'm coming from, right? Just so you guys get where I'm coming from. When Cassidy played as a 6, which is out of his position too, as well, right? When he played as a 6, there were moments where I was like, oh crap, he has some physicality. He's winning some possession here and there. Like, this is impressive for someone who isn't playing this position and is this young. I'm expecting that and a little more from someone who has been in the Premier League before, is coming in as an experienced player. It has already known Enzo Maresca's system, knows how to play it. Like, you know, this is what I'm trying to get at.
No, I'll give you. That's great. I'm going through all of these. I have SofaScore open right now. We'll go through it right now. Ghent was the last time they were a partnership. And Dewsbury-Hall had one key pass.
No.
He had one.
Curry.
He had
okay. No, go ahead. Yeah.
He had lost possession 5 times.
CP, hold on for a second. Like, I think it's Chelsea fans. It's weird. It's the biggest fugazi that Cassidy has been amazing this season.
Thank you.
I didn't
Yes,
say
man,
amazing.
yes.
I didn't say amazing. Calm down. I didn't say amazing.
I didn't say you did. You calm down. No, I think
Okay.
the way people, the way people are talking about Cassidy.
No, I didn't kick him down. He just disconnected.
No, I kicked him. The way people are talking about Cassidy.
How?
I
Yeah,
kicked
go
him.
ahead.
I have the power to kick him. Anyway, the way people are talking about Cassidy, that we didn't expect him to do anything. Now he's come in and he's looked decent. All of a sudden, he's looked amazing. No, Cassidy has not been better than Dewsbury-Hall this season. Let's
No,
just
he
be
hasn't.
honest.
No.
Please,
He
let's
hasn't.
just be honest.
Yes.
But yet, we're praising Cassidy and crucifying Dewsbury-Hall. It's weird.
He's shown me more than Dewsbury-Hall. He's not been better, but he has shown me that he can be.
So if he hasn't been better, what do you mean by he's shown me more? If he hasn't been better,
Because the thing
what
is,
does
like,
that mean?
okay,
Showing
it's
more
one.
is he's showing you that he's better, right? That's the whole point of more.
I'll explain. For me, with my expectations with Cassidy, especially when he's out of position, especially when he has the least amount of experience, my expectations are low. But at least he has a part of his game where I'm like, okay, this is something that you can build off of. I can see why Maresca wants to build him into a 6. He can be physical. He can find a pass. Like, you know, it's there.
I've not seen any of that from Cassidy.
Then rewatch the games. Like
I-
Scott's seen it. I've seen it.
No,
Like there are Chelsea fans that have seen it. I'm
And
not
that's
trying to
what
gas
played
him
with
up.
Maresca.
I get it. I get
Played
it.
with Maresca last year, so it's not like
For half a season.
and that's okay. So he played 3. Okay, so KDH played 3 months more.
What I mean is that
Cool.
No, but what I'm trying to get at is KDH has been in professional football for a lot longer than Cassidy and been in the Premier League before Cassidy as well. And he's not shown me any particular highlight other than maybe some nice through balls from time to time.
what I mean from Cassidy is that I haven't seen yet anything special to write home to mom about.
Thank you.
I haven't. Not like if we're talking about like we didn't
Sure,
expect.
and what I'm trying to get at is I'm not seeing anything special from KDH really at
I
all.
agree, but they haven't.
Okay.
But like they've both performed to the same. So if we're gonna praise Cassidy, then the same can go for KDH. And we're gonna.
I'm not
we're gonna
trying to
be
praise
critical.
Cassidy. I'm just highlighting something.
Okay,
Yeah.
no, but you know what I mean. If we're gonna highlight Cassidy,
Yeah.
then highlight KDH. Or if we're gonna be
I
critical.
did. He has some decent through balls from time to time.
But that's my point. But the way you speak about Cassidy and the way you speak about KDH, for me, it's the exact same. The only difference is that Cassidy or KDH came with a bigger price tag and had worked under Maresca for a year. Keep in mind, the guy is also playing out of position, vastly out of position, and he's playing with
KDH?
profile. Yes.
Okay, wait. Just this game, or are you saying in general?
No, he's playing out from where he was playing last season. He's playing out of position this season.
Yeah, but bro, like, that's my thing though. It's like you could say like, yeah, he's playing out of position
And
in this game,
like,
and stuff. But, like,
he's still like
but
as
that's
a
an excuse to
as-
show like no qualities, like nothing outstanding
but-
to do nothing that's like,
no.
oh wow, okay, I see a little bit here, a little bit there, bro. Like,
But how do you not know it's like it might not be? How do you know it's not Maresca's plan for ADH not to be the flary player in the midfield because we have Enzo and Nkunku to do all that stuff? You just keep it simple. You keep the ball ticking. Which,
but
by
that's
the
what I
way,
mean. He's not
hold
keeping
on,
the ball
hold on,
ticking
hold on,
though.
Hold on, bro.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Simple. Which is what I want from Enzo Fernandez. Keep things simple. Keep things basic for us.
Okay, but
KDH is at least
not.
doing it.
But okay,
I'm
that's
not
what I mean
saying-
though, Prime.
And I'm not
But
saying KDH is special, by the way.
I get it.
We want KDH back in the summer. I didn't see anything about him
but even in that instance that you're saying, right?
better than what I gave him credit for. I also think Cassidy, because remember, like Marshall, you know this. I didn't like Cassidy. I didn't rate him. Cassidy is also better than what I gave him credit for as well. But they're both performing to the same level thus far, the exact same level.
But what I'm trying to get at, right, is that what you just said, right? The whole Enzo, you want Enzo to, you know, do the basic stuff. But when Enzo comes off and KDH comes on, I don't see any improvement. I don't see anything getting better on the pitch. Like, he's not giving me the things that Enzo's missing. He's just
we're
keeping
saying
it the same.
Okay, so wait. So,
Wait,
so
no,
he's,
hold
No, he's saying. No, I'm telling you.
Let's see PZ say. Yeah, go on.
So he's saying that hey, when Enzo comes off and KDH comes on to replace him, he's not seeing a difference in level. But you know what the good thing is? One's supposed to be hyped up like he's God's next son.
I get that, but
Well,
Prime is implying that KDH is supposed to come in and do the basics, which I
No, but
don't
that's
really
what
think
I'm
he's doing it.
Maybe no. So here's the thing. Maresca and KDH might have the same role of keeping the ball ticking, but Enzo Fernandez is supposed to have that little bit extra with his amazing long range passing and all that bullshit. But he fucking can't do that. And that's the thing. And this Robbie guy keeps on saying I'm comparing shit and shitter. Yes, because the dog shit, kind of like Anthony, is fucking 120 million euros, and the other guy is fucking 40 million euros.
KDH is a squad player. I don't have venom I don't have venom for a basic squad player. I don't care. But for someone who's
Enzo shouldn't be a squad player. He should be the starting pivot player.
Enzo's supposed to be the crowning piece in this midfield.
Thank you.
Wait, but my thing is, I don't understand. Are you saying we should be less harsh on KDH? Like, I'm not understanding why we're comparing Enzo and KDH. Like, I don't get where Enzo goes into any of this.
Hold on.
Enzo goes on to.
Stop. You don't. Marshall's the one that brought up Enzo Fernandez. So if you don't know where that came up, ask Marshall. But
I brought it up. I brought it up.
Whatever. But regardless, like the reason why Enzo's not being mentioned.
I'll talk about it for myself.
Like if KDH, the squad player, is performing to the same level as our crowning midfield jewel, vice captain and Enzo Fernandez, is that not a big problem? If they're offering the same thing, that's a big problem.
Again, the only reason I brought it up is when you said when KDH is the role of KDH to come into this team is to do the bare basics that Enzo is not doing on the pitch. When Enzo comes off, I don't see a difference. I don't see him doing the bare basics either.
I see KDH keep things simple because when the players he is playing with, the Flair players and Enzo and Nkunku, or Felix and Nkunku, sorry, KDH has to keep things simple in the midfield.
But then again, we go back to the same thing. Then at that point, there's no difference than Enzo because Enzo's not doing the bare basics. Which is I'm not trying to make comparisons. I understand it's bad that I'm comparing KDH to Enzo anyways. Like I get it. One's 105 and the other's 40 or 35. The one that's 105 is supposed to perform a lot better. I get that. But he's not even doing the bare basics that you're saying he is, Prime.
But you said there was no drop off, so he is doing the basics because you're saying Enzo's doing the basics.
Hold on,
he's saying he's not.
I mean, he is doing the basics. But even if you think he's not, that's fine. But why are we then comparing our squad player to someone who's supposed to be our starter?
I'm not. I'm just saying what you're saying. What you are saying KDH is doing is what Enzo's not doing, right? I'm saying that when KDH comes on, nothing changes. So that means he's not doing the same thing either. If he's supposed to come in and do the bare basics, then I'm supposed to see a difference when KDH comes on and Enzo comes off.
I disagree. I see KDH actually do things that Enzo is just...
I disagree. I don't see a change in the game. I don't see more control in the game. I don't see all these other things.
This is where I'm going to have to agree with Marshall, bro. Because I'm telling you, it doesn't change, bro. It's like people are like, this is why nobody's clamoring for KDH, for example, to take over Enzo's spot or anything. Because KDH isn't doing it either. So, like, what's the point of having...
Can I finish? That's fine. And this is why I go back to... It's then a major problem that our squad player, who, by what Marshall is saying, is not offering anything really, is performing the exact same as one of our starting midfielders, who is not offering us anything. That to me is a like for me, I don't. Again, KDH is a squad player for me. I don't care about him either. I don't care about him either.
But that's why I don't really rag on KDH too much. But I'm looking at KDH and I'm just like, I'm kind of underwhelmed.
Hold on, Marshall. Wait, hold on, Marshall. So you're underwhelmed by KDH. You can also be underwhelmed by Cassidy because they're performing to the same level.
Yeah, but Cassidy's a lot younger and a lot less experience. And he's showing me like, okay, for your age, you're doing all right. KDH, but here's the thing, Prime, and this goes back to what started this originally, right? KDH, for what you're doing for me on the pitch, and Scott's going to disagree. I'm sorry, Scott. I feel like Gallagher did just as much.
I disagree.
And we could have just kept him.
Gallagher was nowhere near as technically proficient or
I agree with
tactically disciplined. There's no way, Marshall. There's no way you can say that. Come on.
Sure. Maybe Gallagher gets dispossessed a lot more than a KDH, but
There's no maybe.
I kept ragging on Gallagher for not being able to be creative at all going forward or the progressive passes. I'm doing the same thing for KDH. He's not taking that many shots. He's not going that forward that often. He's not progressing forward that often either. He's not passing the ball forward. Like,
So much, and this is what Chelsea fans also do on Enzo that I don't like. You're asking someone to do things that's just they're not supposed to do, and that's tactically, or whether it's just the player's ability, they're just not doing. They're not supposed to do. If KDH is told tactically not to be doing those things, just keeping the game ticking, and he's keeping the game ticking,
I'm literally gonna lose my mind. Prime, we've already said a million times. You say he's gonna keep the game ticking. He keeps the ball. He doesn't though. This is our exact point. So I'm saying there's a disconnect because you see it that way. But when Marshall and I watch the game, he's not doing that. He's not getting on the ball enough. He's not moving around possession enough. In fact, he's finding himself further up the pitch, getting off shots that he's not scoring. Am I wrong, Marshall? Is like that's
no,
what
you're not. That's
what
what I'm saying.
Like, I don't see what you're saying, Prime, when you're like, oh, he's keeping the ball, but he's tick.
But
If
I
you
don't.
did that, I wouldn't care because that's.
I agree with you on that
Yeah.
point.
RSM, then I don't see what you guys see about Cassidy because they're performing to the same level.
I don't think
Okay,
Cassidy's been
I-
performing
I-
though.
I-
That's
just
the
me.
thing.
That's
I
just
don't.
me.
That's the
Okay,
thing. I don't
Mark.
think Cassidy's
But
been
also
great.
the expectation for Cassidy is totally different than KDH.
Okay, so
KDH
can
is
I-
a prem proven player,
I'm
where
good, let me-
Cassidy is not.
KDH is not proven, but he played in the
Yes,
Champions
he's
League.
played in the
Yes,
Premier
he's played in
League.
the,
Yes,
Okay.
he played with
Yes.
Leicester when they got relegated.
And Felix was playing for Barcelona, and he's a squad player at Chelsea.
All right,
Yes,
I'm not
we
bringing
know, that's
Felix
why I
into
just
this. We
ragged
already
on
talked
him.
about how
He
shit he is.
Okay, anyways, can I talk about this? Fucking Prime, dude. Here's the problem. Okay, we're
Yeah.
saying that KDH and I'm gonna say Enzo because you know why? Because they're both now squad fucking players.
I
Yeah.
think
If they are competing at the same level, that's the fucking problem. And I'm comparing a guy being this Robbie guy saying, oh, if a guy's playing shit, he can continue playing shit. You know what? He was the least shit of our midfield today, and most of the time he's the least shit when he's on the field in the
He wasn't even
midfield
playing in
because the
midfield.
other guys are usually dog shit. And I'm talking about mostly Enzo Fernandez or Cassidy are usually the same level. He's never below them. He's never been below them whenever he starts the game for any of the games he's played.
Mm.
I'm
Yeah.
literally looking at stats. I've pointed to you to stats about how they're basically the same. Where KDH plays better for the second team than Enzo Fernandez and Cassidy. That's the problem. Enzo is not a starting player now. He's the bench player. He's the squad player with KDH. And the problem is KDH is playing as well as him. And once
That is a
league,
problem. I
you know,
agree.
the
I
thing
don't
is-
think any of us disagree with that, though.
No, and the thing is, we're saying he's prem proven. You know who's also fucking prem proven? Freaking Enzo Fernandez has now played more Premier League games than KDH has.
Yes.
That's
Yeah,
the
no,
problem.
but-
So he's
but
more
we get
prem
it.
proven.
Like, but that's
And
the
he's
thing. We
more
already,
dog shit.
but Curry, we already ragged on Enzo. We know this. No one disagrees
No, but I'm
with
saying
you.
Cassidy. He's playing the same as Cassidy too. I'm saying he's
Yes.
playing the same level as Cassidy too. So
okay,
right now,
I'm not gonna go that far either. But I mean, but what I'm trying to get at is that like I get that. Like no one disagrees with that. If you had told me if you had told me Enzo Fernandez was 40 million or whatever fucking
Yeah, 30
KDH
million, but
costs,
30 million
yeah, I
euros,
would have
yeah.
been like, all right, fine, that's what I expect. You know, like it's and it is what I expect, and it's not really much of anything, which is why I'm kind of saying I don't think we should have really gotten rid of Gallagher if this is the player that we have right now. Like I feel like
disagree.
Gallagher made more of an impact and brought more to the table
so
than him.
here's the thing. It depends, right? Because I think they perform to the same level, but they offer different things, right?
They
I think Gallagher presses more. Obviously presses more, I think, than KDH and does off-ball work better than KDH. But I don't think he would keep the ball ticking as much. And I'm saying he keeps it amazingly ticking, but I don't think he does keep it ticking as much as KDH does. Because I'm literally looking at every game he's played. The most he's lost the ball has been 10. And we know how many times Gallagher's lost the ball in Chelsea. He was averaging 15 to 20 a game. This guy's only losing the ball 10. But he's keeping the ball ticking in that sense. So maybe he's better for Maresca things, and the Chelsea people think he's better for this system. I think they're on par, but they just offer different things being on par. Do you get what I'm saying? Like Gallagher gives you more off-ball work that KDH doesn't in pressing. But then KDH keeping the ball ticking and not losing the ball when he gets it.
I disagree with you. We can't say they offer more when one player offers better things than the other. If one player is losing the ball
They're
more,
different departments, so that's what they equal the same.
they're not unequal. They can't be equal if one player is losing the ball a lot more. You're a liability.
But then he's also gaining the ball a lot more. But you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
He's also doing better off-ball work.
No, but he's losing the ball, winning the ball back, and then losing it again. That doesn't count.
So, listen, I think we can talk about this till the end of the days, but I think we can talk about one bright thing about today, which is
Mudryk?
Mudryk. I mean, let's be honest. He was our best player today, and very deservedly. He looked like the only one that wanted to try to win this game, to be honest with you. And I'm not saying right now that he's earned his spot in the first team, but he's definitely at least earned his spot to come off the bench for the Premier League, I think. And he's been improving, which honestly, if it keeps going like this, maybe there was hope. Maybe the patience paid off. I don't know. Like, I have been really impressed with him in recent games, and I'm happy that it's finally looking like it's turning in the other direction. I'm not gonna get my hopes up. I'm not gonna hold my breath because it could go back to being shit again. But I mean, I guess if anyone wants to add to that, like it's been good. I'm happy to see it.
Can I be honest with you? Every good game he's had with Maresca and before, he's a good playmaker. I would play him in the 10 more than Joao Felix right now.
I mean, there is an argument for that. Last season when Poch played him as 10, yeah.
Best games. And this guy, we're still very suspect about his shot. But the way he's been passing the ball and that decision-making has been pretty good. Right?
Wait, what do you mean he's been suspect about his shot, though? Like, accuracy-wise?
I haven't seen him shoot yet. You know what I'm saying? He scored one goal, but I'm saying this season, I'm suspect about his shooting because I haven't seen it.
Or even in the, what game? In the even in Newcastle when he came on, bro, like, come on, bro. Like, that was...
exactly.
Right there.
Exactly. So, good crosses and everything as well, right? Even with, I think it was Wolves or something, like he had a cross for Nkunku, I think it was. That was the one he did. So, I'm saying, his passing's been good. His crossing's been actually better. And in the box, decision making in terms of passing has been great. I would honestly now at this point have him at the 10 for our B team than Joao Felix. I would put Joao Felix on wide. Honest to God.
No, I wasn't.
If a guy's shooting,
Joao Felix on wide is going to give us a KDH
No, he's played left wing before. He literally played left wing in Barcelona. That's the thing.
He ain't it, bro.
That's a different system, bro.
Yeah, he ain't it, bro.
I know, but I'm saying I'd rather play Mudryk in the 10 than Joao Felix right now, based on current form.
But JC, it's been an improvement since the beginning of the season. When we look at the beginning of the season versus now, like, he has improved, and that's what I want to see. Improvement.
It's also not just 2 games.
No, it's not just been 2 games. There's been some games where like he's had good
moments.
In
the Conference League, outside of those games against Servette, he has been very good in the Conference League.
Yep.
Yeah, like he's been solid. He's been consistent. I think he went from a 4 to a 5 to a 6 to 6, and then
what
7.
I like about Mudryk today is that there were certain, like, he would get the ball right, and there were certain times last season where he would just try and be erratic and just try and beat a man or do something for the sake of doing it. But what I was seeing today was he'd get the ball and just like kind of play it back and just keep things like simple and slow the game down. And he was trying to help Felix and Nkunku score. Like he was performing like an actual quality winger. I like this from Mudryk, and hopefully he can continue to keep growing and improving. I like him, bro. He actually has the determination and will to succeed.
Dude, he was beating his man and then actually making the right decision. He was making the pass at the right time. Like, it was the people in the box and the people not making runs. Like, that's really what screwed him over, to be honest.
It wasn't just beating his man for the sake of beating his man. There are certain times where he just get the ball and just play it back inside and keep it simple. That's what I like. It's not always you need to just beat your man and then nothing. Yeah.
And I'm glad you said the part of keeping it simple, because I feel like if Maresca did anything with him this season in terms of like lecturing him, it was probably to slow it down a bit. Like, don't overthink it. Like, understand you have pace, you can beat most players, but also take your time to look up, because the one thing that CP pointed out is the crosses. Last season, I remember he did the same thing that Nani did all the time, which was crosses the box but don't even look up. Mudryk actually takes the time, looks up, sees someone, sees, okay, let me cut inside or let me cross it or let me try to dribble past the defender. Like, he actually takes time to figure out what is the best decision to make here. And I think it also comes with the experience, with the playing time. He's played now a few games on like once a week. He's been playing consistently. It sucks now that, you know, the Carabao Cup's not there, but he will still find time to play. And he's, you know, making the right decisions as a result of, okay, I've been through this before. I know what to do. I've watched the tape with Maresca. He's gone over what I need to fix and stuff. I'm going to learn from this and improve. He's that kind of guy too. Like, we all know he's that type of person. He wants to improve. He always wants to be a better player. And, you know, it's showing. It's showing. And I am really happy to see it because I've always said it. I know there's a really talented player in there. You could just tell. Like, there's just something about him. Like, if molded in the right way, there could be a really good player there, but he just needs to continue to improve and progress. Like, you guys know, you know when you see it. But I mean, is there anything else anyone wants to add to the Mudryk before we get into the big kahuna of this, which is Maresca?
So there's a talented player in Mudryk, but not in KDH. Okay.
I ain't see it in KDH, bro. Nope.
I'm joking.
Man,
He said, "I'm not."
vanilla.
Marshall's like, "I'm not."
No, I'm not. Man's as stale as crackers, man.
Have we talked about Maresca yet? By the way, I don't think we have, right?
Go ahead, and yeah, we'll get to Maresca.
I think it's just like good that we're seeing him progress and we're seeing him like take things on board. As I said earlier, it's like he's obviously learning slower than a lot of other players, but it's nice that he's taking things on board, and it's nice that he's actually able to like have the ability to progress, and also like he is the perfect example, by the way, of if you perform when you are given the minutes and given the time, like you'll get chances in the league. Like he literally I guarantee like he was brought on against Newcastle because he's performed recently. And that's the thing, and that's where like I wish some of these other guys would take that mentality and use that. Because it's like if he can do it, why can't some of these other dudes, if they perform, like there's certain guys who it almost doesn't matter how they perform, they'll never play. Like sorry Felix, like it doesn't it doesn't matter. Like, like you're shut out. Like Palmer's playing all the time. You're like never starting basically, and even off the bench.
And I would argue, even if Palmer, you know, God forbid, has an injury, bro, I want Nkunku in the.
Oh yeah, potentially, but like whatever, right? Like he's probably never really starting, never really getting that many minutes because Palmer, right? But like I look at an Nkunku, I look at like Neto, for example. Obviously, he's now starting, but before when he wasn't starting, and Neto and Enzo, like some of these guys, it's like if you want to be able to play, even the centre backs, if you want to be able to play, you need to show a consistency and a level over a certain amount of time and show improvement. Like, because if you don't, then you're never going to play, or never going to start, I should say, in the league, in the important competitions or important games.
And yeah, like Scott nailed it on the head. Like some of these players that have taken that and ran with it. You have Renato Veiga is one of them, I think, in my opinion. Like he's had some good performances where he's shown that he can be trusted. Neto, of course, we've seen how he's shown like the levels, and Mudryk, he's taken it seriously. He's like, I want to be part of that first team, and I'm going to prove it. And that attitude needs to be shown throughout the squad. And hopefully, as these players start to go into the Premier League teams and bench these other players, I hope that sense of competition does spread throughout the squad because it is needed. Like, as much as we bantered about Joao Felix, like, at the end of the day, us as Chelsea fans, we want to see the Joao Felix that's overhyped. We want to see that Joao Felix show up. We want to have a Joao Felix that comes into the squad and is like, oh, shit, like, Palmer might actually have some competition. We want to see that with Nkunku as well. You know, it's that sense of competition that I think is really important and is really needed because if we want to make top four this season, we need to have players that can be relied on when other players are out for injury or for whatever suspension, because God only knows a suspension is coming up for any of our players at this rate, with the rate we're getting yellow cards at. But that being said, also, we need to talk about Maresca because
Maresca out.
No, not Maresca out, but I do.
Maresca
it doesn't have the same Maresca doubt, but the Maresca out doesn't have the same ring as Poch out. But I will say, I think today as much as we want to hold it on the Monaco Bros, I think part of the accountability has to go to Maresca.
Yes.
For me, I against Ghent, against Panathinaikos, Boro, you can get away with the Disasi right back, sure, but bro, not today. Today should have been a game where you played Gusto, and I understand like rotation, all that stuff, bro. I'm not having it because a lot of these players are more than capable of playing 2 games a week. And it's fine if you do it once and then you can rest them the next game. That's fine. You don't have to be so worried about that if that's what you're worried about. The other thing being is that, like, okay, let me give the empathetic side of it, right? I also understand that you want to trust your B team or your cup team to be able to perform. And there is that accountability on the players today that shit, Maresca trusted us to get the result. He trusted us to perform and win trophies this season, not in the league, but at least in these other competitions, and we failed on that. Like I get that because obviously it would be pretty disheartening for a player to get benched because they're not good enough in the cup team, and all of a sudden you see Wesley Fofana in the squad, like you see the Premier League team in this game. Like it would be pretty disheartening for a player like a Mudryk or a Badiashile or whatever the fuck, especially if you're trying to make them feel like improve as players and have the confidence to play like the players that they should be playing as. But today's game, I would not have minded if there was a bit of rotation in there. Like, I wouldn't have minded, like I said, if it was Tosin and Colwell. Because defensively, I know we're not good. And defensively, Badiashile is still suspect, in my opinion. Disasi, always suspect at right back. At that high level, always. And you know Newcastle was going to show up, especially after losing. You know they were going to show up with a little bit of more vigor than usual. In the midfield, I was surprised to see KDH at right wing. I thought it would be Enzo KDH and then either Renato or Cucurella in that left side, inverting. Like some of the decisions made today were very, very questionable. And I'm looking at Maresca saying like, bro, do you have that pep gene? Do you have that pep gene where you overthink these things and you start doing some very questionable things that like, bro, this didn't work out at all. Bro, that defense, Newcastle's defense is not that great. They kept a clean sheet against us in a Carabao Cup. Just deep that. They kept a clean sheet against us, who we're supposed to be one of the best.
Attackers, bro.
But again, I get that. I don't want to discredit their defense that much because they did have like Dan Burn and for having the yellow cards, they did have some good performances.
No, I know, but their defense was getting cooked, bro. We had more
But
extra.
regardless,
We had double the shots on target, and we had the same
Yeah.
amount of big chances. We didn't score.
But that's the thing. We have a really good attack. We have one of the best attacks in the league, and for us to have been held to a clean sheet against this team.
No, but this is where this is where I differentiate. I agree with everything you said before, and I think for me, I don't necessarily think he was overthinking it. I think he was naive, and I'll explain why. Because he thought that this B team would be good enough to go out there and just beat that Newcastle team. So he thought he thought that to the point where even the bench almost had nobody. Like if you look at
that bench was horrible.
Bro, thank you.
He only made one sub today. The only other sub he could have made that would have made a difference was Palmer.
Not only did he just make one sub, but you look at that bench and it screams that he was naive and he was overconfident. He thought this B team would go out there and beat Newcastle. You look at Liverpool, bro, they barely won. It was 3-2. Brighton almost came back. They brought on Salah, Luis Diaz, and they got them the third goal because they were up 2-0 and it ended 3-2. They almost lost that game, but they brought on the players that they're going to play on the weekend to close the game out for them, to make sure that they had enough to actually win the game. Maresca literally thought the B team is going to be able to go out there and beat Newcastle handily. I'm not to the point that I'm not even going to put actual 18 players on the bench. I do think it was unfortunate that Sancho was ill, because I think if Sancho wasn't, I think he probably would have been on the right hand side if I'm being quite honest. But I do agree that like, and so that's one. And then the second point that I'll touch on is that obviously he was like naive, he was overconfident. The second point that I'll touch on is that I think he is trying to protect the players a little bit too much from injury. Like, you're not going to tell me that Gusto wouldn't have been better at right back. Like, I understand that you want to manage the minutes, and some players you only want to touch for the Prem. But welcome to the Prem, bro. You need to play your star players at least in a couple positions, in the team. You need to, like, and we saw that missing today in the defense. Like, I think that Gusto for Disasi would have Gusto for Disasi, and let's say Sancho wasn't ill, and I think the team looks completely different in the way that it plays and the way that it defends. And I'll say this last part about Maresca as well. I think, for me personally, I'm not going to blame Maresca's tactics, because you can't account for your center backs being bozos. You look at our XGs, look at our shots on target. The attack did more than enough to get at least one goal, and they didn't. Because if we take out the errors, right? Let's take out the error from Badiashile. Let's say the Disasi own goal would have gone anyway. That's 1-0. We had 2 XG. We couldn't score 1. And Nkunku and Felix stinkers, both of them missed one big chance each. Like, I'm not going to blame his tactics, but I do blame the setup. And then.
But before you guys go, just real quick, what I want to say is like Ray, like, yes, Savinho got injured now. Yeah, it's fine. That any player can get injured, and Maresca knows that. And I think it goes to what RSM said, right? Like, you're playing it way too safe with the injuries, because you have depth, bro. You have depth, but not only that. Wait, hold on. Not only that, you just recently admitted in an interview that Wesley Fofana is playing with pain and that he is going to get injured at any point. So if you know that, then you should know that about all your players, that they're going to get injured at any point.
Wait. He said that about, like, the last game against Newcastle, because he picked up a knock in that game. In terms of what RSM was saying about being naive, well, let's be honest. Us as Chelsea fans, we all thought this would be good enough to beat Newcastle. We were all naive then.
Nah, bro. No. So when I was talking Ahmed, bro, I wanted a better. I needed a better.
I'm not talking about I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about this fan base.
Yeah,
we keep talking about we have the best squad in the league, the best attack. We have 2 11s. Our second team played a rotated Newcastle side, and we could not score a single goal.
I don't know if it really rotated, bro.
It wasn't rotated. I'm sorry.
It was.
Bobin Char is a starter. Isaac is a starter. Gordon was unhealthy. He's a starter. Played. Tonali played.
They had
a lot
a
of
really
starters
strong
in the
lineup.
guy.
Lucas had a really strong lineup.
What are we saying?
I don't care. I'm not done. I don't care. Can I finish? Fine. It wasn't a rotated Newcastle side. They played the strong side. It makes it even more embarrassing, because we're meant to have the strong squad. It's amazing attack, best attack in the league, and we couldn't score 1 against Newcastle. We're talking about accounting for our defenders. I account for our defenders being bozos. I don't really rate our defense, particularly our backups. So whatever it is, what it is, I'm expecting us to concede at least 1 goal, maybe 2. So that's why it's even more important than our attack actually steps up for us and outscores teams. If this game had ended 3-2 to us, I wouldn't have minded conceding the 2 goals. I don't care, because I know we're going to concede. I expect our attack to make up for it now. And they didn't tonight. The attack let Maresca down, even though Maresca had to kind of adapt. Sancho being out ill. Sancho was ill today, and Tyreek George played last night in the under-21, so he couldn't come up to play for this game. So Maresca had to kind of jig it around and play Dewsbury-Hall on the wing and try and make it work somewhat. I don't know. It is what it is. We tried, but we had enough chances from our forwards to at least score 1 goal, possibly 2. And if that game is 2-2, and then it goes into penalties, I think, after 2-2. If that game ends 2-2, we win on penalties, I don't think anyone's complaining about the performance as much. Or is that critical? It's the fact we didn't get 1 goal is the major problem.
But Prime, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Like, Maresca's tactics was enough, bro. You look at the chances, you look at the XG. That's why I blame the attack. The Felix and Nkunku stinker is what killed us. Because realistically, this should have been 1-1 or 2-2, exactly like you said. Because if we didn't have the Badiashile Bozo error, it's 1-0. And if one of the two didn't have a stinker, they get 1 goal and it's 1-1. Like, everything that could have gone wrong literally went wrong, bro.
So Maresca did say in his post conference, Maresca did say we where is it? I just had it. Fuck. On Enzo Fernandez. He was asked about Enzo Fernandez's performance. He said, I said for me, we lost the game because of 10 minutes. After that, we lost the control. We need more control, but it's not only from Enzo, it's in general.
He's right.
Okay, so can you speak on some of the things Barsam said? So
Can I just finish before you? RSM mentioned about protecting players. You're right. He does like protect players too much. Like about Sanchez lately, when he's been talking about Sanchez, about him making mistakes and this is how I want you to play. They're not asking Sanchez to make mistakes like this. He's doing it because he's just not good enough. I get protecting players. I get not throwing them under the bus. But that means in private, you have to berate them. Or not berate them, but like, you have to be on their necks in private now. If you're not going to say it in public, that's fine. I don't care. But behind the scenes, correct them on what they're doing wrong. They can't keep doing this. Sanchez can't keep being a bozo. Our defenders can't keep making bozo mistakes. Because it's going to cost us games like this. And that could cost us in the Conference League. We could just have an off day in front of goal, Felix and Nkunku, and all of a sudden we lose 2-0 or 1-0 at home, and then we have to go away in Eastern Europe in the second leg, and then we're knocked out. That could happen. So
sorry, I want to say a couple of things with regards to RSM saying the Liverpool point, but I can give you the counterpoint, which is Man City. They were losing 2-1, or like they were losing from the beginning, like 10 minutes, and he never put on Erling Haaland once. The only guy in the league who can beg at any point at any time. He put Kovacic, that was the only senior player he played in terms of Man City, even with that squad, even though they were losing from the get-go, right? Second point, I don't blame Maresca for being overprotective of these injuries. I'm sorry, this is the first clean bin of health we've had for 4 years. If you're talking about Gusto, if we lose Gusto, we are... Okay, so for example, Colwell. If Colwell is injured after this game, we are fucked because who's the replacement? Badiashile. We are fucked. And then beside him is the most injury-prone center-back in the world. And then beside but I'm not saying most injury-prone right-back in the world, who we have a replacement in Gusto. And the way he's trying to compensate for what Enzo lacks is by putting James on the left side so he can get those long balls. Then we have the most injury-prone right winger in the world.
CP, I'm not saying start them. I'm not saying play them 90 minutes. But where he was naive and arrogant, and this is my point, he was like, I'm not even gonna put them on the bench. Like, there's no way that this B team is going to lose, and we got pumped 2-0. That's where my issue comes from.
Yeah, but
I don't think he should have played them full 90s. I don't think that. But let's say even Liverpool rotated everything, but they still brought on Salah, Diaz, McAllister right at the end of the game, and that got them the goal that ended up actually winning them the game, because Brighton would have come back otherwise to make it 2-2.
So sorry, who would you say he put on? So he put on Salah, yeah?
Salah, Diaz, McAllister.
Okay, so those three players that he put on are the most non-injury prone players you can look for in their entire lineup.
No, but I'm saying he put them on in like last 20, last 15.
No, I get it. But
he was still on the bench.
I know, but he still had faith in them that they probably 99% of the time wouldn't get an injury, because Salah barely gets any injuries, McAllister barely gets any injuries, and Luis Diaz barely gets any injuries.
I'm so sorry. You're not going to make me believe that putting Gusto on for 15 minutes or bringing Neto on for 15 minutes.
I just don't want to risk it. Like, Neto especially. Bro, fuck no to Neto. Neto, I'm still bad at it.
But this is going to, if we keep this mentality, then we're just never going to have any players ever play in the Cups.
Yeah.
No. This mentality is that we make this squad better. We continue making this squad better
at the cost of losing trophies.
No, excuse me. This is Neto's first time he's been healthy in 2 years.
I know, but I'm not saying just Neto. Hold on. But CP,
these injury-prone players in specific, I would put in Cotton. If Neto can give me a season where he barely gets any injuries and misses at most 1 month, then next season, fuck yes, I am on this with you guys. Same with Lavia.
But today, I would not have minded if today you wanted to play Cole Palmer at right wing or Nani Madueke or right wing. You have other options at right wing that are much better than KDH, but you're not playing them because you're treating them like they're glass cannons. When we know, yes, some of them are glass cannons. I don't mind being overprotective of Reece James. I don't mind being overprotective of Lavia. These players are injury prone, but you have players in your squad that are not injury prone that you could have you could have put on the bench, that you could have actually started in today's game, or at least brought them in for the last 30 to 20 minutes. Because you're losing. Yeah. That's the point that RSM's getting at. They're not all glass cannons. I get protected players, but these players are perfectly capable of playing twice a week. And it's not like they're going to play twice a week every week. They're perfectly playable twice a week, just this one time, and then the next week you play the 1 week. Like, it's about managing minutes, and sometimes you have to put more minutes on one player than the other. Like, why are we pretending that Malo Gusto wasn't our only right back last season, and he was available for most of the season? Yes, he got injured from time to time, but he was available for most of the season. He is capable of playing games back to back.
What happened when Malo Gusto used to get injured? We used to put Cucurella there, right?
Yeah, but exactly. You could have put Cucurella in the right back position. If you didn't want to put Cucurella in the right back position, actually play a right back. That's a right back, not fucking Axel Disasi, who we know doesn't work at right back. And that's the thing on Enzo Maresca today too. He has tried Disasi at right back before, and we thought he would have learned from that. And today against Newcastle, he thought Disasi was good enough. Why? You saw what happened against Bournemouth.
Because most of these games that he's played right back, because we've been playing in the Conference League against Borough, we've been destroying them. It's only been Servette. We've won 4-1. We've gotten clean sheets. That's why he was trusting it, because we only conceded barely more than 2 goals. It's only in Servette that we conceded in terms of Disasi, for example. Mm-hmm. That's why he had the faith. Because until today, we thought this B team, like Prime was saying, was good enough because we were steamrolling everyone.
But we were steamrolling everybody. We knew that Newcastle was going to come out with a strong team because they do not have a bench.
No, we didn't, because even Chris or some other people were saying that Chelsea. No, you guys, I
assumed
get it.
Yeah,
I said you assumed it, but also a lot of the Chelsea fan base is like, they can't do that because they got Arsenal on the weekend. They don't have the depth. They have to rotate because they've also had injury issues. Why would you want to play Isaac three times in 1 week? Right?
Yeah, I mean.
That's the other thing too. They also have injury-prone players too, so you didn't think they would play them.
The thing is as well, like I kind of understand the point, and I am coming round to the point and agreeing on like the bench. I think you could have had a couple extra players on the bench to maybe come on and change the game. But in terms of starting 11, like I don't really put a lot of blame with this game on Maresca from the starting 11 perspective. Like a lot of I think the blame I have from is like the subs. And then just the lack of options on the bench. But like starting 11, for me, it just comes down to like this team. Like the reason why Newcastle can't rotate as much as we can is because they don't have the depth. Like,
of course,
after Isaac, the reason why Isaac plays every game or played the game against us at the weekend in this game is because their backup is injured, and they had to play their third choice striker, who is a guy who got relegated with Sheffield United last season, and who I don't think he played that much, especially after they got Brereton Diaz and they had obviously McBurney as well. So he didn't play a lot and then got relegated as well. That's their third choice, the guy who came on today. So they don't really have the other options. They were already today playing their 4th and 5th choice central midfielder in this game. So they rotated there. And they rotated like right back, for example. And their backup left back is also a backup centre back in Dan Burn. And they just don't have as much depth as we do. And I think that's the thing. And I think that's where most of the blame goes for me, is these players is like, even if we'd had a couple of other players in, like say you have Gusto in, say you have Madueke in from the start, I don't think it changes the result. It might change certain things. I had an argument with Ziad about this on the
I think it does.
I don't think it changes the result. I don't think it changes the result. Like Gusto's been shit this season. Like he might not make some of the same mistakes Disasi does in terms of he might not be as slow recovering as Disasi is, but he's still been as bad on the ball, if not worse. He's been terrible when he's inverted. Like he has been bad this season. I don't think he changes. He doesn't stop the defensive errors we make.
No,
I look at Madueke and I don't think that Madueke alleviates. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. I just think the whole point of what I was saying is like, I think that's the thing. Like this game, even if we get the 2 goals, right? Like we just didn't score our chances. This game should have ended 1-1 or
Sure.
2-2. I think it would have been. I think this was a draw. This performance was a draw. What made it not a draw was the defensive errors, which I agree with. But I
Nice.
think in that second half, right, when we were clearly making enough chances but struggling to score, bringing on potentially Gusto at the same time as Nani revitalizes that right hand side, and so that it could at least somewhat mirror the production that we were getting on that left hand side. And now Newcastle now has a decision, bro. They completely ignored that right hand side. KDH was not going to the line. They just completely let it go. The only time they targeted the right hand side was when they were attacking. Why? Because they had Disasi on that side.
No, that's
But
fair,
for
but I
me-
still think Gusto's been terrible anyway.
I hear
Like,
you on that.
But the reason why I don't think it changes, like, look at the goals we conceded. The first goal, even if we have Gusto and Noni in, it doesn't change anything about the first goal. Like, that first goal has nothing to do with the Sassy.
None of my
Yeah.
wait, the changes that I'm saying, none of it. I agree. None of it negates the goals. That's what I'm saying. What I'm saying is not.
And that's it. And I don't think it affects the goals in terms of the other way as well, because we had chances that we just missed anyway. And we even saw Noni come on in the second half, and I don't think we created much more with Noni on the pitch than with KDH. Like, he obviously did more because he's a winger and he was better in that position, but I don't think we didn't do enough with him on the pitch either, and that's because I think everyone was just shit. And that's the thing ultimately, I think, and that's why for me, Maresca doesn't take most of the blame. He also takes some of the blame for the subs and the state of the bench. But I'm saying, regardless of if we have someone in instead of Disasi and someone in instead of KDH, like, that doesn't change the result. Like, Enzo was still crap. Veiga was still crap in that first half. The defense was still sucked. The defense still sucks. You still get the same mistakes because we've seen those same mistakes that we saw from Disasi, from Gusto, and we've seen those same mistakes from the centre backs when they've had an actual right back next to them. Like, we've seen Tosin look like shit against Liverpool. He had an actual right back next to him. He still played like shit.
Okay, now let me put to you this scenario, right? And this is why I think that he messed up, and this is why I'm saying, like, I do think it would have changed. I agree. None of the changes that we could have made defensively do I think would have probably negated the errors, because we're not playing Fofana, we're not playing Cole. I agree. Like, they are really injury prone, and same with Reece James. But I think we could have played Gusto, but I don't think that would have negated the goals. So we're 2-0, right? We're very obviously making enough chances. If we had on that bench Palmer, Jackson, Madueke, Gusto, 4 changes for the final 25-30 minutes. I think these 4 produce enough, especially with having Jackson, bro. Because it's not like Jackson is injury prone either. Let's be real. Jackson easily could have been on that bench to give us a different look than Nkunku.
I agree with you. I think from a bench perspective and a subs, I think he got that wrong. But that's where I also disagree with what you said about him being naive. I don't think he was naive. I think he just put too much trust in some of these squad players.
Yeah, I guess.
I
Maybe
think
I'm a bit harsh on naive, but like I think he was very.
I think overconfident maybe, and just putting too much trust in some of these bench players. And I think that's what we're seeing now. Is just these guys just suck. Like, some of these guys, like Felix, just sucks. Like some and like KDH just wasn't performing. And I disagree with some of what was said earlier, but like, he didn't perform today. Enzo hasn't performed, and Nkunku hasn't performed. Veiga was bad today. Like, the defense, the less spoken about them, the better. And I think that's the thing, is like, ultimately we just saw that some of these guys are really just that bad, and we can ride them out for the rest of the season. I don't think the performance today for me changes a lot of where we're going for the rest of the season, because ultimately we have got enough with that first 11. And I think if you were to I also think another problem with the team, the way it played, is I think some of these squad players are good enough to play, but when they're surrounded by 18 players, like I think Nkunku, for example, I think Enzo in some games, I think that Tosin maybe at times, I think that who else would I consider? Like Veiga, for example. I think some of these guys can perform in games in the Prem, important games, when they've got other A-team quote-unquote players around them. But certain guys, I think, as of next summer, like next summer's going to be key. I think there's going to be a lot of outgoings. I think the likes of Badiashile need to go, Disasi as well. I think
we got
Enzo,
we got Santos coming back. It's
yeah.
like for some
I say Enzo can go. I think Mudryk, it depends on if an offer comes in.
Yep.
Felix can fuck off, and Nkunku, we're going to have to figure out what to do with him, like if he wants to leave, if he wants to stay, where you play him, etc. But like, yeah, I think that I think today just showed that ultimately what I think today showed is we're going, even though the performance was bad, I think it shows us that our first 11 is that good, number one. And I think for me it shows is like, if we could improve some elements of the first 11, like for example, right, say we go and get a centre back like Diaz. I know we're linked with him. I don't think we get him, by the way. I don't think we get him, Rudiger, anyone like that. But say you go and get a centre back like that, cool. That just means that like Fofana becomes the backup, Tosin becomes the whatever, Badiashile leaves. That's already an improvement. You know, say Achimpong signs a new contract, we get him involved. Reece can stay fit. Like, oh, actually, even with the right back position, as long as Reece can stay fit, that means Disasi can leave. That's an improvement. You've then got Achimpong with the third
bro.
job.
If we get enough games out of Reece, bro, Disasi.
Yeah, that means cool. He's like,
and also if we get Josh Achimpong to sign that contract, bro,
yeah, that means you've got like if Reece can stay fit, that means you got the starter locked. You've got the backup locked with Gusto, like, and then as long as Achimpong continues on the way he's going so far, the trajectory he's going so far, then cool, then he can fuck off and leave. And then it's just got you going from there. If Santos continues his way he has, there's Enzo's position taken up. That's an improvement. And you just keep going from there.
I feel like, I mean, part of me wants to agree with the whole result wouldn't have changed in terms of like the goals we conceded. But the other part of me wants to fight against that because I think that, and obviously my opinion, I think that if you do have a Gusto and you do have a Nani on that right-handed side, you invite enough pressure to Newcastle where they don't have now the ability to attack us as much because they have to worry more about the defensive side of things. And I think with the choices that we had there, they didn't have much like their left-handed side of the defense didn't have much work to do today. Like it was pretty nonchalant. All the defense they had to do was mostly on Mudryk's side. Like
that's fair,
yeah.
But Marshall, the reason I disagree is two things. Number one is they didn't even really create much, like throughout the whole game. And that's with having, with all their talk of, they didn't really have to do any defending on the left-hand side. They didn't really do anything. I don't really remember them creating much on that left-hand side anyway, because most of the chances they created were of us giving them the ball and causing problems for ourselves. And that's where I say, even if we'd had Gusto has been crap this season. And he has been, in terms of the mistakes that he has made, I would argue that they have been as bad as the ones Disasi has made. Obviously, there's some differences in the mistakes he's actually made, but like he gives the ball away just as much as Disasi does. He can recover better, but the problem that Gusto's done is he's given the ball away in stupid areas that mean that it doesn't matter how well he can recover. He's giving the ball away in areas of like he'll give the ball away, similar to how we did for the first goal. That's where he's giving the ball away in those areas. So it's like, I don't care. It doesn't matter how good you can recover because you can't recover that. You can't make up that space in time. And so, yes, I don't think he makes a difference. Then we saw Noni come on. And I understand the game state might have been a bit different, but it's just, I think it's just the way that Newcastle defended ultimately. And I think, as I said, it just come down to like, we created enough with who we had on the pitch to score. And ultimately, because of Felix, because of Nkunku, because of what we did in the game, we didn't score. Right, and we deserved to score with the chances we made, but we didn't. And ultimately, that's with having, in effect, 10 men on the pitch, if you want to take Dewsbury-Hall out of it, and maybe even less, depending on how you thought the rest of the team did. So, like, as I just don't think it would have made a difference with the rest of the team. I don't think two players can make up for how shit the other like 6 works. As I said, I didn't think Mudryk or Kukurea was that bad, even Jorgensen, but let's include Jorgensen. Like, that's 2 players you take out of it. That's another 9 players on the pitch. You take out another 2. That's still 7 players that look like shit. That's more than half the team.
Yeah, no, I get where you're coming from. I do think when you have a whole right side of your attack and your pitch kind of like not there, I do think that makes a difference. But I get where you're coming from with Gusto as well, because I agree. Gusto's not been that great this year, but I just think offensively, like, he could have provided so much more than Disasi did, and it was almost like we were so one-sided. Yeah.
Can I be honest? I genuinely, going forward at least today, I actually didn't think Disasi was that bad. Going forward. Like, I thought his crossing was actually pretty decent. For a guy who's not really a right back, like, I thought his crossing was actually quite good. But again, ironically enough, the stuff that I would not expect him to do, I thought he was pretty decent at. Everything else was awful.
But this is another thing that I need to talk about that I need to say, bro. It's like, how is it possible, like, that we had so many tall ass people and we didn't have really any good core? Like, I'm tired of seeing this team. Look, I will literally play. I will pay money. for them to do one outswinging cross. I beg.
But
Every
that's
single
kinda
time.
what I was getting at,
in-swing
too.
And does jack shit, bro. I'm
but
tired
that-
of these in-swings, bro. They do
But that was-
nothing. We don't win them ever.
That was kind of what I was gonna say in response to Scott, where I was like, I don't really want you to cross because in this team we don't really head in goals or cross. Like our crosses lead to nothing. Like we usually kind of like cut inside and low cross, ground pass and shoot. Like that's how we score our goals. Like we don't really score from crosses, which is why I'm like. Or at least the high crosses, which is why I was kind of like, when Disasi, I know specifically one play where I saw Disasi cross, and before he even got the ball, I was like, Disasi, please don't cross it, and he fucking crosses, and I'm like, all right, cool, we lost the fucking ball. Because I think it was Nkunku was double man marked, and then it went to Mudryk, and Mudryk, I don't know if he hit it right at the keeper, right at Pope. But yeah, I was like, I didn't expect much from that cross. But yeah, I mean, I can't. Scott's not entirely wrong about that either. I don't think Disasi was terrible going forward, but defensively, he's always suspect, especially at right back. So, anything else we're missing? Want to discuss, or has this been enough for the comeback stream since I came back from Miami and
What a comeback
Fort
stream.
Lauderdale, or the other places I've been at? I think it was a good comeback stream, bro. I went to that bar and I have to find the picture. There was a
I told you, bro, Chelsea bars when there's fans.
it was squad deep,
bro.
but I can't find. I should have asked that guy for a picture of that he took. I was the only one with the third kit, and I heard people say, "I want that third. I want that kit."
Bro, I ordered
You
the
should've
third kit. It's
forgotten
on the way,
kit.
bro. I ordered the third kit, bro. It's on the way. It's on the way. for me.
It's great. That third kit is really nice.
Yeah, bro, it looks nice. I can't lie.
Yeah, I'll be back here tomorrow. I decided instead of doing the Casually Chelsea show because the news has been so fucking dry, I'm just gonna do a Chelsea Hour show, real quick. Talk to you guys about my thoughts on like Liverpool, Panathinaikos, and the Newcastle game prior to this one, and maybe a few other things. I might even talk about the whole United thing. I haven't decided on that, but yeah, we'll do that. I believe we're gonna have a preview on Friday as well. Maybe another show on Saturday. I'm looking to stream every day until Sunday pretty much, so be on the lookout. Welcome back to Casually FC. Thank you guys for staying here, being here, checking out the other videos I released as well while I was away. And yeah, for those of you who are new here, thank you for joining. If you are new here and haven't already joined and subscribed, be sure to subscribe to the channel. It is very much appreciated. Be sure to check out RSM TV over on his YouTube channel. I think it is RSM TV 09 as well,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
So check that out. We'll put the link in the description. I might as well just keep it there at that point. Also, be sure to check out the other links in the description as well. Like the video if you haven't done so already. We've only been on 34 likes, which is kind of crazy. I haven't been looking because I've been so intent on the content and the conversation in front of me. And the game, I'll be honest with you, big up RSM for providing.
Bro, I told you, like,
fucking
the viewer
ADHD.
retention, bro.
It's so crazy.
you, bro.
It actually worked.
The Gen Z brain.
The Gen Z
You
brain
make
is
fun of it,
crazy.
bro, but when you're on TikTok and I'm seeing somebody talk and I see a
Yo.
little, Minecraft or whatever,
It's so
parkour, I'm
dumb.
like, I'm
I
locked
hate
in,
it.
bro.
I hate it so much, but it actually fucking kept me when I wasn't talking. I was like, yo, RSM getting clapped by this lava, bro.
Yo, chill. I was trying to see how to figure out there was an arrow and I'm like, oh, this is there. There was nothing. Anyways, continue.
But yeah, big up to everyone. Smash the like, subscribe if you haven't done so already. Check out the links in the description. Leave a comment down below. Let us know your thoughts on today's game. As I also look for someone to raid because I totally forgot to do that. I haven't done this in 2 weeks and I forgot how to do my job. Before I do that as well,
already
also.
watched, you hate to see it, bro.
Before I end the stream, obviously, we do like to give shout outs to our proper casual members and higher, and that's going to go out to EE, Hassan Nawaz, Dark, Adrian, A. Solomon, and Scott. Big up to you guys for your support. That being said, I'm going to redirect you over to Sarcasm City. I hope YouTube is not lying to me and they are actually still live. They are. So yeah, go check them out. Show some love. Also, be sure to copy and paste that raid message that hopefully works in a second. And yeah, we'll see you guys over there, and we'll see you tomorrow for more. I'll see you tomorrow for more content on Chelsea. Love y'all guys and have a wonderful night. Peace. Stay casual. That's my line too. Fuck. Bye.